And we welcome you in to the voluntary reaction presented tonight by our friends at the Griffin Law Firm. I'm Russell Smith alongside Davey Hudson. And YouTube TV tried to save a lot of us tonight, Davey. But being the battered Vol fans that we are, we didn't get the message, I guess.
We seeked out the pain, and we got it.
Oh, yeah, we got it. We drank from the keg of despair. Tennessee falls tonight to Oklahoma 33-27. The final in Neyland Stadium, sold out, dark mode, a great day, a great scene beforehand. And it started off well enough with the Volunteers getting the ball and going right down the field and scoring. And then it just started to fall apart quickly. Tennessee outgains Oklahoma by over 100 yards today. The Volunteers putting up 456 yards of total offense. Joey Aguilar throwing for 393 yards today, but it was the two first-half interceptions that proved costly, and Tennessee just could not recover from those mistakes and the fumble, of course, that was returned for a touchdown to tie the game. Tennessee could have been up 17-0, just like in 2014 or 2015, the last time these guys came to town, Davey, and you would have felt a lot better about going ahead and finishing the deal with Josh Heupel than Butch Jones. But once again, this team just cannot get out of its way. Mm-hmm. You had a plenty good enough effort by Tim Banks' defense in the first half to take control of the game. No way that team should have been down 16-10 at the half.
No, and let's look at this game and Tennessee's season as a whole for just 1 second. You fall to 6-3, playoffs are off. Like that's done. And even if you wanted to try to make the argument, well, it's like if you win out, you only have 3 losses. If some other stuff happens, it's like, no, you will not have a single quality win this year. There's a good chance Tennessee goes and does not beat a team with a winning record at this point. Florida looked good today. And we know what that means when we go down to Gainesville. So you look at it, and again, I know you got to take into account kind of what the expectations were going in. But right now, Russell, I honestly think the worst things from my perspective is the fact we played Georgia as close as we did, because that just kind of gave me a false sense of reality about this team. And knowing that you've lost all 3 games you've played against ranked opponents. But the bigger problem is you've lost because of yourself. It's not like you got necessarily outplayed by the other team. It's just you continue to have these mistakes that pop up week after week. And you think, all right, Oklahoma's giving you this game. You look at it, we won almost every key statistic except for points on the board. And that is infuriating, because as you go and you dissect this game, you just realize, like, oh my gosh, Tennessee actually lost this game? How is that possible? If I just showed somebody the box score and didn't tell you the final score, you'd be like, yeah, Tennessee won this game by 20 points. And they're like, they're having a good night. And no, we're sitting here, we're dealing with the misery that comes with losing a game where, and Russ, I told you this before, and the frustrating part for me is, if you win this game, that's 1, a quality win, but 2, you've got 3 more weeks of just being like, all right, playoffs are still on the line, because you're going to have the bye week, you're going to beat New Mexico State, and then you're going to have the week going into Florida where you're thinking, hey, maybe you're finally able to exercise your demons. But no.
In the words of Bob Baskerville, oh, God. Yeah, playoff hopes over. And I'll be interested to hear the tone of our fan base tonight towards Josh Heupel, who this is coaching malpractice, what we just saw out there tonight. And I'm a Josh Heupel fan. I appreciate what he has done here, bringing relevancy back to Tennessee football. But to go out there tonight and manage the game the way he did, I mean, we'll go through it get into the minutia, Dave, but I think that we have to drill in on the 2-minute situation there. I mean, Kirk Herbstreit is practically pleading with Josh Heupel to kick the damn field goal. And score in front of the 2-minute warning, because you had to use you didn't have to, but you chose to use a timeout.
That was bad.
Before the 4th down play, which was, I thought, a fine call. Van Dorselaar has to catch that ball. But Davey, like, what do you think? I know we feel the way we do about Gilbert, but if you kick the field goal and you make it to make it a 6-point game, and then you kick off before the 2-minute warning with 2 timeouts, conceivably, if your defense can get a stop, and we fell apart on that side of the ball in the second half, you could get the ball back with a decent amount of time to score a touchdown and win.
You could have. I will give a little bit of. I'll tread lightly on not sending your kicker out there until you have to. And this is the thing. Listen, I'm not going to go too hard on Max Gilbert because, one, he's in over his head, and I'll go with the coaching, but there's no reason this guy is your kicker next year. If you look at this, if Max Gilbert's a competent SEC kicker, you're 8-1 right now.
How big is the miss in the first half?
You're 8-1 right now. Because, I mean, yeah, you're having to play catch up there where it's 2 possessions. I mean, you take the lead late if he does hit that one. And it wasn't like that was a difficult one. But it's even more infuriating whenever you watch him. He can't hit field goals within 30 yards, yet their guy goes out there in shorts and drills 3 50-yarders in the game, 255. It's insane.
Yeah.
That kid should be the highest paid kicker in college football after tonight. You watch what he was able to do. I mean, you could argue he saved Brent Venables' job. Like that, like Brent Venables owes that guy so much money because he still has a job because of him. But yeah, this win is going to keep Brent Venables as the head coach at Oklahoma for another season. So there's that. But yeah, man, it's just, I just, you look at the turnovers. It just, you can't.
You can't do that, man.
Do it, man.
You can't go out there and manage a game the way Josh Heupel did tonight. That was coaching malpractice. We're not getting our $9 million a year from worth of Josh Heupel right now, in my opinion. All right, we're going to go to the phones here, 865-966-3435. We are streaming on the Fan Run app. We're streaming on YouTube. Go to Fan Run TV to watch along on YouTube if you want. And we are a little short-handed. Both Bear and Walker are sick today. They've been sharing the same affliction. So special thanks tonight to Brett Hollander from the Playbook and a blast from the past in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios tonight. Young Marcus Young is back. We found him wandering around in the parking lot, and we put him to work tonight. So thank you, guys. Let's get Trey in here. Trey, you're up first. Voluntary reaction. Hit it.
Russ, you know I'm going to be optimistic and cheery tonight. First of all, if you find somebody like Marcus walking around the parking lot, don't let them inside. That's when you lock the door, Russ. Just come on. Anyway, guys, Josh Heupel's got 1 year. I mean, let's be realistic. Next season is he's coaching for his job. I mean, in this day and age, what we've seen this year for a 5th-year head coach is totally unacceptable. Our team looks poorly coached week in and week out, and we've let winnable games slip away time and time again. I mean, you can argue injuries on defense, but guys, there's no team in the country, or very few actually, that go too deep. I mean, that's just the day and age we're in with NIL. That's roster management. That's part of the job. Clock management, he's atrocious. This is year 5. You should not have the TV announcers telling you what to do, and you're doing the complete opposite. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And then to get cute on that 4th and 1 when you have to have it, you put your jumbo package in, and then you try to do some cute throw to somebody who's caught 2 fucking passes for the whole year. 2 fucking passes. Do you think that when your whole season's on the line, that's the guy you won't touching the ball? Seriously? Like, we've seen it time and time again in this sport. When you get cute, you get fucked. And we got fucked. And it's 1 yard, guys. It's 4th and 1.
Well, we weren't going to pick it up running. I mean, you don't think we were going to run for that first down, do you?
Russ, I think we had a 50-50 shot if we ran it. I really do. Jumbo package in there. I mean, we were breaking out some decent runs in the second half. It's 1 yard. You're telling me we couldn't have run for 1 yard?
Probably not.
I don't think so. I mean, they got a really good defensive front. They were stuffing us all night long. We only ran for 63 yards in the entire game. I don't mind. I thought it was a good play call. I wish we didn't have to take a timeout. I wish we could have just done like a normal football team. We know that's our short yardage fourth down call. Immediately, sub, get in our and do it. Just run the damn play and save the timeout. The guy's got to catch the ball, man. I thought it was a good call, but damn it, man. At the end of that game, you've got to know with only 2 timeouts in a 2-score game, you have to score before the 2-minute warning. And we had an opportunity. Herb Street is telling, everybody knows that's what you have to do to extend the game. Onside kicks don't happen anymore. They just don't work anymore in football at any level. And we weren't particularly close on either one tonight.
No.
So,
all right, hey guys, on the way out, Russ, because I know you guys are doing the Lord's work. You're dealing with a bunch of angry, pissed off people, but you're going to get asked this question a lot. So let's just handle it right out the gate. 1, is Josh Heupel coaching for his job next year? And 2, what number of wins keeps this job, and what number of losses sends him packing? Just let's talk about that. But love you guys. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Trey. Appreciate the phone call. I think he's probably right. We'll see what happens the rest of this year. I think we all agree that Josh Heupel has earned a mulligan for rebuilding Tennessee football, but it's not like it was when Philip Fulmer was here and you got a couple of years to turn it around. You see what's happening with all these guys getting fired around. Yes, I think Josh Heupel, I'm not going to say he comes into next season on the hot seat, but it's a show me type of year. And if he throws up a 7-5 or an 8-4 next year, you might have to think about making a change, because that's what you do in college football in 2025, Davey.
So to answer Trey's question, you kind of alluded to it, is about how you finish out the year. If Tennessee finishes 9-3 and wins whatever meaningless bowl game they go to, then no, I don't see a situation where the athletic department is looking at it from Josh Heupel's going into the year on the hot seat. Now, let's say
it can fall apart quickly, though.
It can. If you lose to Florida and you lose to Vanderbilt and you're 7-5, absolutely. He's going into the year with it being a big year. And the scary thought there is you don't have a proven quarterback that's going to be leading the team. I am curious to see if, things go south and Danny White is like, Josh, like you gotta make some moves. Like, just show me you're willing to readjust and do some things. And I don't know, maybe he goes down with the ship, and he's a guy that he is going to stick by his guns. And we've talked about him not willing to make moves. And I'm not saying that means like, hey, fire Tim Banks. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people coming in tonight saying that. It's like, listen, I know what I signed up for when I got Josh Heupel, and Tim Banks' defense only gave up 23 points tonight. So whenever I look at it from that perspective, if you can have your defense in Josh Heupel's system give up 28 points or less and you can't win the game, that's solely on Josh Heupel, and I don't care what anyone else has to say.
Here's my thing about that, Davey, is yes, the defense played better tonight. I don't think that offense is very good for Oklahoma right now. They didn't they had a little slant and they had Mateer running, and that's about it. And once they hit on those 2 plays in the second half, we couldn't really stop it.
They got to go. And what I would say to that is like, it's very reminiscent. Here we are 10 years later, and it's like John Mateer's no Baker Mayfield, but he was able to get back on like on the horse and ride again. Before his injury, he was the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. You can argue it's like, I hadn't played a lot of people. It's like, I saw some stuff from him tonight where it's like, yeah, that is a quality starting quarterback.
He's tough.
And
I'll give him that.
Yeah. And so it's like, I knew their offense was at least going to be competent. But man, it's just, if you're Heupel, you're coaching scared this year is the thing I kind of view it as. And that's
so bizarre. What Josh Heupel, who took Josh Heupel's balls? Where are his balls? Josh, what did you do with your balls? Where are your balls, Josh? Are they in your pants? Do you have balls? Were you neutered in the off season? Did you have yourself neutered? Why would you do that? Why would you give your balls away? I like my balls. Marcus Young, do you like your balls?
I'm a fan of them.
Why would you not want your balls? Balls are a necessity in the sport of American tackle football. What are you doing, Josh Heupel? Coaching scared over there, not understanding how a damn clock works. You've got a quarterback who's melting down in the first half. He's throwing 2 interceptions and a fumble, and the reporter asks you I had a little talk with him. I told him, don't worry, just play ball. What? You're paid $9 million. Don't worry, just keep playing? That's what you told the guy? Josh. What I don't know. I don't get it. What happened to this guy? He was such a maverick the first couple of years. He would try anything. He was a riverboat gambler.
Had balls.
He had balls. Big brass ones.
Randy Marsh.
And now he's just got a deflated scrotum with nothing in it. Just a saggy wrinkle of skin hanging between his legs with no balls in them. Christopher in the text box says Heupel needs to turn over play calling duties so he can focus on in-game situations. I mean, it's on the table at this point. Or maybe you just demote yourself to offensive coordinator and hire a head coach who can manage a ball game. How about that? Because what we're doing right now ain't working, Josh. Travis is next. Go ahead, Travis.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Travis, do you have balls?
Well, I did until I got on testosterone shots.
Maybe that's what Josh Heupel needs. Get some. He's got low T. We need him getting those shots.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this. I'm just going to raise hell for a minute. We're app only, right?
Yes.
The NIL is the reason that Tennessee football become back, right? Like, let's just call a spade a spade. The son of a bitch was good with Skolkan's quarterback, Skolkan's Bolitnikov wide receiver, and fucking Alex Goish. Like, we act like this guy's a damn savant. Well, fuck, anybody can stroke a check and buy some players. The son of a bitch don't even know the damn rules of the game. He's over there crying, wanting the damn clock to stop because Aguilar run out of bounds. He's yet to develop a quarterback. Who's his best quarterback? Because fucking Hooker was Skolkan's. And he benched him for damn Joe Milton.
I think this guy the guy we've got right now is pretty good, Travis, but he needs to be coached. When he's struggling out there, he threw for almost 400 yards tonight, okay? You don't do that without being pretty damn good. But he's struggling in the first half, seeing the field. He's not understanding what he's seeing, the safeties that Oklahoma is doing out there. He needs a coach to sit him down and explain it to him. Not, good job, kid. Just keep it up. Keep banging away.
Well, no,
Bad luck.
You're right. You're right. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he can probably make them throws in the fucking group of 5 at App State. At the end of the day, Josh Heupel spent millions of dollars and evaluated Nico Iamaleava to be our damn quarterback, and he's a bust. Like, it's not Joey Aguilar's fault.
No.
It's Josh Heupel's fault that he can't fucking identify talent and develop a quarterback. You're going to go into next year and you got to play Texas. That schedule's way worse. Let's call a spade a spade. The schedule the last 2 years have been pretty good for Tennessee, right? What are you going to do, throw George McIntyre or Faison Brandon to the fucking Wolves next year? Because damn, Jake Merklinger can't play dead in the fucking Western. It looks like Nathan Peterman.
No, Merklinger ain't going to be the quarterback here. We don't know.
He's not going to be the quarterback.
We don't know who the quarterback's going to be, Davey. He's going to have to go find out. And like, look, the Nico thing. I mean, they had a 5-star who couldn't play last year too, in Jackson Arnold. I mean, this is epidemic. It's not just to Tennessee.
Right, but I don't give a shit what they do. We're paying this guy $9 million to be our football coach and develop our talent. I don't give a damn what Freddie Krueger can't identify out there at fucking Oklahoma. We paid this damn guy all this money, and he's supposed to be the guy. He can take his fat ass and Danny White, and they can both get on the fucking train and get out of there. NIL, Tennessee football will be fine as long as they got boosters. It's pay for play now, guys.
Oh, Travis,
get his fat ass out of there.
Thank you,
$300 a fucking ticket.
That's the kind of energy I thought we were going to have on the halftime chat. People were, and I, as badly as we played in the first half, halftime, Davey, I said, this feels like the Florida game last year, where we came out and farted around, and we were the better team, but we just weren't capitalizing.
Yeah.
And we came out in the second half unfucked ourselves and figured it out. And I thought that's what was going to happen, especially after we hit the long touchdown to Staley. It's like, all right, we got this. And then we just immediately regress back into our fiddle farting around ways. And in the meantime, our defense falls apart.
I wonder how much Drew Mestemaker is going to make next year. It's the guy I want to be our starting quarterback out of North Texas. But yeah, I mean, you got to go get somebody. Like I don't trust running McIntyre out there or putting Faison Brandon in there.
Oh, hell no. No, so, you got to find a guy.
But it's just like,
Marcus, are you over it? Heupel on the hot seat? Yes? No?
Here's my problem, and I'm about to throw a name out there that you're not going to be happy with comparing him to. Is this Tennessee's Mark Richt? Can only get you so far. Can't get it done. We got to go find our own Kirby.
He does have Willie Martinez on his staff.
I was going to point out, too, I mean, to pull a Davey, looking at the stats, I mean, the fact that we had 35 rushing and we only got 63 yards, averaged not even 2 yards a carry.
I give their defense credit. I mean, that's one of the best defenses in college football. They stuffed us pretty good,
but
man.
That's Heupel's offense.
And it's a great defensive coach in Venables. We got to finish drives, man. You can't turn the ball over against them. But you're right. We got to run the ball more. I mean, that was, Davey, when they're getting all that pressure in the second half and Joey's running for his life, we can't run the ball. We've become one-dimensional. They're pinning their ears back. They're in his face. It was hard.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at this team the last couple of years and being able to run the ball has been kind of the bread and butter. You were even able to run the ball some last year against Oklahoma, but yeah, they came in with a good game plan as far as forcing you to make Joey beat you. And I mean, those 2 turnovers, ultimately they're able to get those points, and that's the difference in the game.
Brett, what do you think? Heupel on the hot seat? Is it time?
Well, if he loses those to Florida and Vandy, yeah, absolutely. I think he's on the hot seat. If he's not already, I think people are. You haven't beat anybody with a winning record this year. You're losing to all these teams. You're lucky to get out of some of these other games. Mississippi State was close on the road. Arkansas was close at home. So you're getting by the skin of your teeth. Tonight was just, I don't even know how to describe tonight. You got your ass kicked in that second half, I thought, personally. The way compared to the first half, Oklahoma hit you in the mouth in the second half. I thought Mateer, that long 22-yard run that seemed to get him going on like 3rd and 18. I don't know what we were doing on that one. So, yeah, I think Heupel's definitely on the hot seat, especially if we lose at Florida and, heaven forbid, Vandy ends your season basically here at home with Pavia.
865-966-3435. Texter says, thank you, Josh Heupel. I feel liberated. I no longer have to care about this sloppy, undisciplined team this season. I am free. It has been so frustrating to watch this team this year. Another person says Heupel is nowhere near the recruiter that Richt was. I think there's something to what Travis was saying. It's like we've benefited from the NIL and the pay for play rules because we're able to throw money at players. But I mean, our recruiting isn't good enough.
No, it's not been at that level where you're like, all right, let's go above and beyond. And there were a lot of great recruits there tonight. So I'm kind of curious to see like what that ultimate outcome is as far as how you do with those guys after seeing the loss. I will say, as it relates to, just the state of college football, I'm really curious, like, this is a great year where Tennessee doesn't have to make a move. And like, I the only way like I could even see the possibility of like, oh yeah, they're moving on from Heupel is if like you lose to New Mexico State, which isn't happening.
No.
But this offseason, watching how these schools are going to have to try to maneuver the coaching carousel, it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of people that think they've got a good job or like their school's like highly sought after, but we've already seen this week schools starting to lock up their guys. Like Matt Rule's not moving on from Nebraska. And it's not like he's even done anything where you're just like, oh yeah, that's a really great coach. Rhett Lashley staying at SMU. You're seeing these schools just be like, all right, we're going to make sure we're not going to lose our guy. But Hugh Freeze is likely going to get fired. I mean, he just put up 3 points against the Kentucky team that we saw last week. I think a lot of people are about to be in for a rude awakening whenever it comes to the candidates that are available to them as this carousel gets underway. And some teams are they're going to continue to make a move. I mean, Florida State with Mike Norvell, like LSU, I'm sure you guys talked about it this week. That's kind of a dumpster fire right now. There's zero leadership in place. If Lane Kiffin doesn't leave, like that's another big name off the table. So it's a good year not to have to be in that conversation where we're having that talk, but it's like, yeah, if you're Josh Heupel, it's like, man, where have you been this year compared to the last couple of years?
Some random guy is next. Rando, you're on Voluntary Reaction. Go ahead.
Davey, Russell, everybody.
Hey, buddy.
Happy Sunday, or, if we want to fall back, we can still call it Saturday. I don't know. It's that weird ass day where, the hours really don't matter, right?
I'm not really looking for an extra hour.
Can we fall back to 7:30?
Yeah, really. Do over.
Why? So we can fuck it up again?
True.
So the texter said exactly what I think I wanted to say. The word is sloppy. Josh Heupel coaches like a guy who wears fucking starter basketball shorts and an untucked t-shirt. Our team is fucking sloppy, guys.
Sloppier than a soup sandwich.
Well, that's the crazy thing. Oklahoma had over 100 yards in penalties, and I don't even think we had 40. So it's like the one time you actually clean up in that department, it doesn't even matter.
We actually kept the penalties to a dull roar tonight, Rando.
3 for 25. That's got to be the best in the Josh Heupel era.
Had more
I get it
turnovers.
when you throw 3 fucking interceptions.
Yeah. I would have rather had the 10 penalties that we usually get in a game like this than the turnovers.
Exactly. So, guys, look, I'm not going to say Heupel is on the hot seat, but as someone else said, whether it was a caller, whether it was a texter, thank you, Josh. You have freed me from absolutely giving a fuck about the next 3 games.
He got us to basketball
I really
season.
don't. It is basketball season. Mercer, you're on the clock, because I don't care about the New Mexico State game. I may or may not even watch. I really don't care about the Florida game. And I actually do care about the Vandy game because, God damn it, we cannot lose to those guys. But to follow up on the question, is he on the hot seat? Not yet. But if he goes 7-5 this year, we should have beat Georgia. We should have won tonight. And, I'm not going to be the guy that blames Joey Aguilar. I'm not going to be the guy that blames Max Gilbert. I'm going to be the guy that blames the guy that thought those guys were the guy. And that's Josh Heupel. And right now I've got some serious questions about whether he can evaluate talent. Hello, Nico. Hello, Max Gilbert. Look, Joey is fine until tonight, and then he turned into Appy State Joey. And I'm not going to shit on Joey. I am not going to shit on that guy at all, just because of tonight. But we have, guys, go look at the end of the Georgia game. We're calling out clock management. Kirk is calling out clock management tonight on national TV. Is it that hard to manage the clock, Davey? Is it?
It depends on who your coach is.
Okay, is it that hard?
I thought he
for
used to be
Josh?
good at this. I thought Heupel, he was very aggressive with it, and as far as using timeouts and waiting until the last minute of the half in the ball game. But I thought he was really good the first couple of years as a clock manager, and he's just horrible this year. He has regressed.
Okay, have you guys seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Anybody?
Of course.
He's fucking Leo DiCaprio. It's passing him by. He doesn't know what to do, and he's clinging to what he used to be. I swear to God, he's aging very poorly right now.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was like the Manson freaks getting set on fire with a flamethrower.
No,
Spoiler alert.
He's Rick Dalton needing to go over to Paris or Italy or wherever he did to do films now.
He is Rick Dalton, and he is flailing, and he is crying, and there is some girl talking to him about what a good actor he used to be. Guys, I ain't got anything else right now. sloppier than a soup sandwich. You said it the best, Russ. You said it the best. This team is sloppy. This program is sloppy. Joshua Heupel, or Joshua Kenneth Heupel, whichever sequence you want to put it in, quit using your rectum as a neck warmer. Wake up and go back to who you used to be when you actually had a sack filled with testicles and you wanted to coach like you were going to drop that sack.
Is his middle name really Kenneth?
I think it is, actually.
Well, I'm going to start calling him Ken because he's like a
Ken
Ken doll.
Heupel.
And you know what a Ken doll doesn't have? Rando?
It doesn't have any balls.
Doesn't have any balls. Thank
sack.
you, Rando.
No
Appreciate
sack,
the
bro.
phone call.
See you,
Jesse is up next on the Voluntary Reaction, brought to you tonight by the Griffin Law Firm. He's a freaking Ken doll. Get your nuts, Heupel.
AI does confirm it is the AI overview on Google. Joshua Kenneth Heupel.
Got Ken over there walking around looking for his nuts.
All adds up.
Davey, Rick Dalton went over and they called them spaghetti westerns because he went to Italy. Guys, this sucks. Heupel is definitely, I mean, this is the first time in his 5 years here where he's officially taken the program into the regression category. I think we're at the same spot we are post-game or after the Alabama game of 2023. Like, here's what I think Heupel should do going forward. Like, this is not a slight on Joey Aguilar, but he should not play another down the rest of the season, because if we go 8-4 or 7-5 with him, great, whatever, it happens. But if we do that and go into next year breaking in a completely new quarterback, the entire offseason is going to be one little pity party, red, full of apathy. But we go 8-4 or 7-5 with with Merklinger or GMAC, and they show flashes, at least there's something to hope for going into the offseason.
I
thought we should have done it with
like the locker room dynamic. If you were to bench Joey, like that's something where like the wheels can fall off, because it's like, it's not like Joey is the reason we're losing these games. And like,
I agree.
I get the hope part.
At the same time, this is a business. The NFL does it when they're eliminated from playoffs, and it's time to start seeing what the other players have. So, like, that's like, I just feel like if this season ends how everyone thought. I mean, this morning on game day, everyone talked about how this was such a vital game for Oklahoma, because if they lost this one, there was staring in the face of 7-5 or 6-6 finish. Like, we're probably going to finish 8-4. I really believe that. But going into this off season where it's like we're either pinning our hopes on one of these young guys, like, we just need to see something. And I do not agree with. I'm going to say not agree, but I do not think Heupel, like Davey, you alluded to it. There's so many openings right now, and these coaches are staying put. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be mad if like Heupel goes somewhere on his own volition, but like, we definitely would be foolish to let him go.
Question for the panel, Jesse. Would you guys trade Josh Heupel for James Franklin right now?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say no. You feel free to ask me again after Florida/Vandy.
That's the thing. I think we'll actually beat Florida for the first time, because usually we have to play Florida at the beginning of the year where it's like, oh, there's still a lot on the line. Now that there's pretty much nothing on the line for us, and it's like, oh, it's going to be the first time since 2003 where you got a win down there. I think it finally happens. And we're just like, great, we got that win. And it means absolutely nothing. But that's BVS for me.
We need one of those wins. We need one of those moments this year. Something and I know it's not much, but damn it, we got people who haven't seen Tennessee win in the swamp in our fan base now. And like, you got to give them something, man. You got to give them something.
It's disappointing that, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it took us 5 years to fill a plateau or a regression impact, or filling in this program, but like it's year 5 and it's like these mistakes, like, and I'll end it with this because I know we've got a bunch more entertaining phone callers that you probably are going to hear from tonight, but you would not know it from looking at Heupel how much he loves running, because I don't get it. Everything was telegraphed. Dude's sloppy as hell. He needs to catch some fire and get rid of this complacency, because like every time you look at him on the sidelines, he just looks like he's ho-humming it in. Like, he does not genuinely look excited to do his job. That the most excitement he ever shown his time at Tennessee was when he was with Tracy Wolfson at CBS after the Alabama game, saying, this is what it's all about. This is football at its finest. And you've never seen him excited like that.
Well, of course he's going to be,
3 years.
The most excited.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Jesse. Of course he's going to be the most excited he's ever been after the biggest win he's had here, probably. So, I think he just hadn't had a chance to show that. I mean, if Max Gilbert makes that kick against Georgia, you're going to see that Heupel on the field this year. So, I mean, I think he wants it. Like, he looks like the same guy over there, but he's not delivering the same results, and he's just not coaching with much aggression right now.
I don't know how you get that back if you're him.
35 rushing attempts to 45 pass attempts tonight. We did have to abandon the run late there. I can't criticize Joey Aguilar.
No,
that dude to do what he's done this year with just 3 months of prep time, from stepping on campus to taking the reins and to have put up the numbers that he's done this year. I can't criticize him, man. He's been fantastic. Those were some bad throws. The fumble, I mean, I don't know what the blocking assignments are there, but it looked like to me that's on David Sanders. Like, we're double teaming the inside guy and the outside guy's coming free.
Yeah, the fumble definitely was. I think there might have even been another play where I don't know if it was intercepted, but Joey obviously got hit while releasing the ball, and it was like a lame duck, and it could have been. But going back to, Jesse's point about like just playing for the future, and like you do that in the NFL. While I think the sport might eventually get there, that's not going to be the case, I think, for at least the next couple of years. And we always talk about Heupel being loyal to his assistants because he was the coach that got fired under Bob Stoops and was likely made to be the scapegoat. How do you think he's going to feel about a quarterback that's playing well when he was a quarterback that understands what it's like to be in those situations?
Yeah, I'm fine with everything Aguilar has done this year. It's just a shame that our defense has been what it has been for most of the year. And then the one night that we get a truly heroic effort out of them, we waste it with whatever the hell that was out there tonight. Shout out to Conrad Staley. He's a 14-year-old VFL from Nashville who's listening with his mom for some reason. I mean, that's parent of the year right there. Letting your kid listen to Voluntary Reaction after a loss at 12:15 in the morning.
You'll let him read the chat while you're at it.
Oh, let's get Dan in here next. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Okay. So first thing on my mind is that 4th and 1, the play action pass to the guy coming out of the back. Who the fuck even was that? We're throwing it.
Jack Van Dorsey. Jack Van Dorsey.
JVD.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean,
he was wide open.
How about
Wide
Stickman?
open.
How about Brazel? How about Staley? Like, what? Who is this guy?
It's a guy they're not going to guard.
Yeah, those guys aren't going to be open like him because, and that ball hit him in the damn face mask.
Yeah.
I mean, off his face.
That's one of those plays where I get it. Like, it sucks. You're frustrated beyond belief, but if he catches it, everyone's calling Josh Heupel a genius for scheming that up. I can't fault it, man. Like, it's like you got to make that play if you're that kid. It's as simple as that. We said earlier, you're not running the ball on that defense.
I mean, that's a perspective I hadn't considered, but I'm just thinking, like, dude, the game is on the line. What are we doing? But I mean, that is an interesting perspective, but whatever. Anyway, and the other thing on my mind is, there's a lot of talk about hype. I don't know what has happened to him since. I guess since the 22 Alabama game. I mean, every good thing that has happened to this program since then has been really, I don't know. He deserves a lot of credit. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know where we're at with him. I'm really on the fence. I feel like I'm leaning out, and it's a weird feeling. We're in a really good place that we weren't in before he got here, but I'm just getting really, really, really frustrated.
It feels like we're plateauing here, doesn't it, Dan?
Right.
It feels like
the Richt analogies are I don't disagree with them.
Dodgers won the World Series.
They get a double play.
I'm watching that right now. Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, you were ahead of us. Thanks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thanks for the road.
I'm sorry.
Unbelievable. They just won.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I think that's good for the game of baseball.
Now we have to deal with the Happy McClure.
Canada. You're just not American.
I mean, it's good that something good finally happened to the Dodgers. I mean, they're just a team with so few resources. And
No, listen, people call me stupid for this take, but I really am looking forward and hope there's a lockout in the MLB in 2027.
Could we get a lockout mid-season in college football? Could we just lock it off now? Take the 6 wins.
We need to lock out the rest of the season and just go to basketball.
Yeah, let's just
Maybe Tony can even come back and be on the sidelines or be in the dugout with Elander when that's going on. He ain't gonna have anything else going on.
Anything else, Dan?
Well, what I was getting into was just I don't know. Does Danny White have the stones to even it would take some development, down this season and maybe into next season. But if we were getting to a point where Heupel needed to go, would Danny White even do it? I mean, they've been bros since back at UCF.
My question would be, I don't know who would be the conduit to talk to Heupel since Danny doesn't have relationships with his coaches.
He doesn't know these guys, Dan. He doesn't talk to them. He doesn't socialize.
Good point, Yep. That's a good point. All right, guys. Go Vols, I guess. See you.
I guess. Go Vols.
Come on, Rick Barnes.
Does Danny White have no balls?
I don't know what to make of Danny White. I mean, on one hand, things have turned around so much. He got here. On the other hand, he didn't hire Barnes. He didn't hire Vitello. I believe he was more or less forced to hire Elander. So I don't know how much credit he gets for what's happened in basketball and baseball. He gets, I guess he gets credit for football, but let's be honest. He tried to hire that clown up there at Virginia, Tony Scott.
I mean, they're going to be ranked higher than us whenever this week's all said and done.
They can't beat nobody. I mean, that's not a good football program. That's not a good coach.
I don't want Tony Elliott. I don't want that.
Tried to hire him. He tried to hire James Franklin. Probably tried to hire a couple of other guys.
I bet you James wishes he would have taken that job right about now.
And now, Heupel was his 5th choice at best, and it's worked out for him up to now. So I guess he gets credit for that. Kim Caldwell is, she's recruiting well. We'll see if she wins. So, what do you make of Dan? I don't know. You tell me. I guess he gets credit. He's in the chair when things have gone well. It's you're the president. If things are going well, you get the credit. If things aren't, you get the blame. That's how that goes. It's how that works.
Would football team, if it became available, be the best job out there? Would you
For
say?
us?
Yeah.
No.
Would Tennessee be ahead of LSU?
No.
LSU's a train wreck. You're better in Florida right now, right?
No, like, I mean, the way it's going to be viewed in coaching circles, like Florida is still a much better job than Tennessee. I
Really?
know a
Okay.
lot of people aren't going to like to hear that, but
Yeah,
when you look at the recruiting base, again, it comes back to that. You can continue to pay. Listen, at the end of the day, that's why, like, you know, I've always wanted like that Mike Leach type coach is because I understand Tennessee's going to be at a disadvantage whenever you're simply going up against your three main
So you think
rivals.
Florida's the best job available right now?
I would say if LSU's leadership was in place, it would be better because, like, I believe based on a per capita basis, Louisiana is the highest rated blue chip state in America. Like it's better than anywhere else. And you can see like, that's one of the places where, I mean, Nick Saban, Les Miles, Ed Orgeron, all three of those coaches were able to win a national championship. That just goes to show you what they have there.
Yeah.
But right now, Florida and LSU, I would still rank ahead of Penn State. But if you're Penn State, you really, the only competition you have is just Ohio State and Michigan. So you can make the argument, as long as you get in the playoff, with it being 12 teams, it's eventually going to expand again.
Well,
you're in the driver's seat there.
Here's the thing about the Tennessee job. The Tennessee job is a much better job right now than it was when Heupel got it in 2021. Like it's just completely, it was not a good job really at all back then, unless you're just looking for a couple of years to get paid. But he's brought it back to where it's a good job. Now here's the question: like nobody is seriously advocating for him to be fired right now. There might be a few drunks who would like to see him fired right now, but serious ball knowers are not advocating for a change at coach now. But here's the thing: like if this is it, if he is truly plateaued, and people kind of, there's a book out on him now and figured out you're not going to sneak up on anybody, and like the best you can hope to do is like 9-3, 8-4. Then how long do you let it go if you're Danny White to, like, if you did fire him right now, which you're obviously not going to do, but if you did, yeah, it'd be a pretty good job, man. And you could hire James Franklin if you wanted. You could hire an up-and-comer if you wanted. I don't think you should do that. I think that would be irresponsible. But so you bring him back next year and he goes 8-4. And you're like, well, we can't do it now. 8-4 is still pretty. He deserves another year. And you bring him back in the year after that, and it's like another 8-4. I mean, at that point, you would probably have to make a move, but your job isn't as good as it is right now. Mm-hmm. So you might have missed a chance to fill it while it was a job really worth having.
Well,
I don't.
I mean, the argument to that point, Russ, is simply once a coach leaves, everybody can transfer for like a 30-day window where that's all open. So then it's like, I mean, it's free reign on those rosters. That's why
really fall apart.
That's why I'm looking at it from a standpoint of like, you haven't gotten a lot of your younger classmen to be like, all right, they're definitely worthy of getting a raise in NIL this offseason. And so you do look at all these coaches that are being fired, and you look at those rosters that are just ripe with a lot of talent. And it's like, all right, you got to line up the money bags and go get those guys and bring them in whenever you're looking at hitting the transfer portal this offseason. They've got to hit that hard. And that's where it's going to be. The other thing I would say is that obviously you're 1 year removed from a playoff appearance, and with the seeding like it was, if you actually had fair seeding back then, you're likely getting a win in Neyland. You're even in a better spot, but unfortunately that's not the case. If you do have a good quarterback, you're in a spot where you can cycle up, and I don't think you're that far away from making the playoffs again next year. But if you really fall on your face next season, to your point, then yeah, the job does take a hit.
865-966-3435, your phone number to call or text the voluntary reaction. We're presented by our friend Marshall Griffin and the Griffin Law Firm. Check them out online at griffinlawdefense.com. I'll tell you a little bit more about what they do coming up in just a bit. DR Vol is next.
Hey, man, tell me to call back.
Uh-oh.
I actually hit it twice.
You got hulked. You got hulked, DR. You go to you stand out there tailgating all day. Say, oh, we're going to win. We're going to win. You get hammered drunk, slobbering drunk. Probably spend the first half going to the bathroom 2 or 3 times. splashing on yourself in the trough. You stand out there freezing your damn balls off. And then you're just like Ken, you got no balls. Ken Heupel. And then you're walking out of there, oh, what just happened? You got punked. You got punked, DR.
You think that lady was still yelling at him to sit down?
Some lady in back. Sit down, young man. I can't see. I'll give you a Werther's original if you'll sit down so I can see over your head. Shove it, Granny. Danny charged me $400 for this ticket. I'm standing. You can just sit there and stare at my ass. Oh, that's so rude. I just want a friend. Robert is next. Go ahead, Robert.
Man, Russ got me laughing over here, man. I don't know if y'all want to hear from me tonight. I'm going to be the fireman and come put some water on this hot seat talk. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pissed about the game. Like, we made way too many mistakes. I don't know what Josh is doing out there, but like, come on, we're 1 year out of the playoffs. We still got a chance to go 9-3. The start of this year, what do we all say we were going to go? 8-4, 9-3. I just don't. I don't see why we're even talking about it. We all kind of penciled a loss into Oklahoma or Florida won. So
that's another way of looking at it.
I mean, like going back to before the season, it's like, yeah, I'm probably expecting us to lose one of these, but it's just like, again, you played Georgia so close and you're like, that's a top 5 team. Are you finally going to be able to like, oh man, this team's actually taking the next step? And it was fool's gold.
Yeah, but I mean, that's everybody this year. I mean, look, Florida played Georgia close today. South Carolina played Alabama close. That's just college football now. We're not going to see in the SEC. We're not going to see those 2019 LSU's and those kind of teams anymore. It's win your 10 games, get to the playoffs, and hope you get a good draw and go play. So, I mean, we got the number 1 quarterback coming in. We got the number 1 wide receiver coming in. And I'm pissed off. I don't understand what we saw tonight. Especially that last touchdown they ran in there. We didn't even try to block the extra point, and that would have made it an 8-point game. So that pissed me off to no end. But like I said, Heupel's earned the right to lose the ship, and I don't think he did by losing to a team that's about as good as we are.
I would agree. I'm not advocating for Josh. I'm not saying Heupel's on the hot seat. I'm not saying he deserves to be. I'm not even necessarily saying he is going into next year. I'm just saying that he's starting to lose a few people. Mm-hmm. And it's not just drunken voluntary reaction callers. He's starting to lose a few people. You see it online. You see it on the socials. You see it on the message boards right now. People are for instance, What do you the first onside kick? You got what? A minute 50, 2 timeouts?
Yes.
What should you have done there? Should you have kicked the onside kick? Davey, you and I were saying just go ahead and onside kick it.
Yeah, no, I think in that if you had stopped them on the other side of the 2-minute warning, I would be willing to kick it deep, but no, being in that spot, I'm kicking that onside kick 100% of the time.
Yeah, I'm with Davey on that one.
I thought Turbyville might have been our onside kicker though, but the first one was close. Yeah,
they weren't terrible on. That's so hard. You never see those. Has anybody?
I thought the second one was bad. It didn't go 10 yards.
Has anybody seen a successful onside kick this year
in the NFL? But not.
You haven't.
Vandy should have that one today.
That's okay. That's true, Brett. That's true.
They were right there, but
that's the thing is like you can, even if you do like actually get the kick to go 10 yards and not be caught, like then you got to go recover. It's so hard. I mean, the chances of recovering an onside kick are less than 10%.
Oh, it's
the only way
people are getting 4.
The only way I've seen them get them is when teams aren't expecting it, like you're doing it randomly in the first quarter.
Oh man. Anything else, Robert?
No, guys. We drink from the keg of despair, but we got basketball season. I think we're gonna have a good baseball team. These are the good days in Tennessee. I graduated in 2017. I sat in the rain and watched Butch Jones lose that one. Or I think Butch had just been fired after that one. But anyway, these are the good days.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate the phone call. It could be worse. You could be Florida. You could be Auburn, who just lost to Kentucky tonight.
A big win for Mark Stoops. That'll probably give him another year.
Hell, he probably gets a raise now, the way they hand out contracts. You could be Arkansas, who lost to Mississippi State is their first SEC win in like 3 years.
Yeah. There had been talk about Jeff Lebby. Like, if he didn't win an SEC game again this season, it's like, do you just go ahead and fire him too? But it's like, I mean, he took both Tennessee and Texas to overtime, but he finally got the win. Granted, it's Bobby Petrino, but it's an SEC win.
At least I don't have to do playoff math this year. I'm so bad at that. What do we need to do? I don't know. You need everybody else to lose. You need to win. Everybody else needs to
Marcus made a good point. But before I get into his point, do you remember, I can't remember who the player was, but he was a former Vol player, like on the national championship team. And he was talking to some player who played at Kentucky. And he said Fulmer called Kentucky like a bunch of dirt daubers because they never wanted to win shit. They just wanted to ruin it for you. And Marcus was telling me, he's like, well, really the only thing left on your season is you get to play spoiler and maybe keep Vanderbilt out of the playoffs.
Which is sickening to have to say that. But yeah, I mean, ruin their season, make us feel good.
Brian on YouTube says, I'm within a gnat's ass of giving up my season tickets.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's another raise coming on those. So
yeah, you pay thousands of dollars for your season tickets for the right to go stand in line and buy a $15 beer. And to watch Josh Heupel mismanage a clock.
Get herded in like cattle. Is that still a problem at the stadium?
That's tough, man. When you are just when you invest all your time and your money in it, and you're out there all day, you're drinking with your friends and everything, and then you sit through that and you walk out of there. Especially for the people who like have to drive back to Nashville, Atlanta, Charlotte, wherever they're coming from, just like, what am I doing? What am I doing with life? You get like existential, don't you? On those car trips, you're like, what am I doing with my life? I've got
and
like,
hasn't traffic not great getting out there?
Oh my God. People are sitting in G10 right now.
Were there any horror stories getting into
grabbing that wheel, just like the death grip. Yeah. And their wife is like, I don't know.
Were there any horror?
Shut up. There's some domestic violence happening down in parking garages on campus right now. Right now. Some poor woman is taking a 2-piece and a biscuit.
It's like Jackie Moon
from her idiot husband.
It's like Jackie Moon on the bus as they're about to play. Come on, only 13 more hours to go. Everybody love everybody
right now.
I remember
long drive
like years during the Butch era. I had a buddy of mine who took his dad. His dad was old redneck guy to the drinker to the Alabama game, and Tennessee got. And at halftime, he's just like, fuck this, man, I'm leaving. he left. He was like 10 miles from the stadium. He just walked home.
That's amazing.
You remember that one caller that I think his wife got mad at him? We were worried there was a divorce coming.
Oh yeah,
I wonder how that's
Cosmo
going.
Chris's wife. She made another appearance this year. He called into the drive, and she got on. She called us. Stop talking to those sports radio people. Nobody cares. It's really hurt. Cosmo Chris' wife hates us so much. I feel like she doesn't know it. If she just got to know us, she'd give us a chance. It'd be okay.
Or like therapy.
She's so angry.
Just like a lot of the fans are right now.
Yes. All right. I think we got DR back. Go ahead, DR.
Guys, I'm a cuck. I'm a straight up cuck.
You're the chair in the corner.
Oh, that's how I felt watching this team. Heupel's one bent over just getting screwed in the ass. And and I'm in the cuck chair, spent all this money, time, drank all day, in another time zone from where I live. And here I am at 12:30 in the morning talking to these radio people. I'm a cuck.
Hey, good news,
Why don't we
DR.
do it?
You at least gain 2 hours going back.
I know. I told my wife that. I was like, really? We get to sleep a little 2 extra hours. But I know personal appearance is not show fodder, and it doesn't matter when you're winning. But are we surprised that we're so undisciplined when Heupel was such a slob? I mean, my 11-year-old grows a better beard than him, and he's got man boobs, and he doesn't seem to care anymore. I miss 21 Heupel so much, y'all. I miss him.
We need to get Heupel. This is a big off season for Heupel. We got to get him over to Planet Fatness. We got to get him the membership. We got to get him on the treadmill. We got to get him on a regimen. We get him with Davey. What have you had to eat today, Davey? Like some rabbit food and a granola bar? We get him with Davey. We're going to get him slimmed down. We're going to get him a makeover, a glow up. We're going to get him shaved, give him a haircut over there.
I'm sure they got some hot yoga places here in Nashville.
Yeah. Get him in there with Kiffin doing the hot yoga.
Well, and the good thing about hot yoga is you have to have some, time management skills with that. I do hot works, and I ride a bike in 130-degree sauna, and you got to time it out. So really, he could learn time management with that. But guys, this is it's embarrassing. This schedule we had this year, you should have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets worse next year. And it's like you don't know who your quarterback's going to be. And Heupel is just, he's such a big beta. He's not going to get rid of anybody to change it. And I love sitting there in my cuck chair, season ticket cuck chair, watching Boo Carter out there. Well, what do we spend, $1 million on that moron? And then you got all these players out there making stupid mistakes. And they'll get on Twitter and like, oh, don't criticize the players, all this and that. No, to hell with that, y'all. We spend all this money, and in the off season they demand more money. It's so frustrating. Like they're taking the fun out of it, y'all. It's getting really hard to spend all this time and money for what? I'm a cuck.
Oh man, it's so, when you win, it's so good. You feel so great, and when you lose, you're just questioning your entire life, everything that you do.
Well, and I'll ask you guys this: is that Oklahoma team any good? I'm not a football savant. I thought they were trash, and like I got Oklahoma fans in my mentions tonight because I was upset about losing to that team at home, and they're like, "Dude, we're not garbage." I thought they were garbage. You should have beaten them.
I don't think they're garbage. I think you're better than them. I think if you don't turn the ball over and you handle your business, you're up 17-3, something like that at the half, maybe 17-0, maybe 21-0, and then. And if you handle the end of the game, like they're playing catch up, they're not built to throw on you.
No. I also think too, DR, like when you look at this Oklahoma team, had John Mateer not been injured, you're probably looking at that team a lot differently. So I don't know. They'll have a really good test whenever they go on the road to play Alabama here soon. So
yeah.
we'll learn a lot about them then.
Well, two things I'm going to say before I forget. It is so freaking good to hear Marcus Young back on these airwaves. I have missed that guy. He's easily, I've been listening to Fan Run since 2017. He's easily one of my favorite personalities y'all have had, even though he may be a serial killer.
I was ready for that one.
Yeah. And second, well, Marcus, you told us all about Levis. I'll say that. Second thing, Davey, you've seen The Ringer, right?
With Johnny Knoxville? Hell yeah, dude.
Yes. So yeah, that was his best movie. I thought it was appropriate that he was there tonight because you had a, I'm not going to say the word. You had a mentally challenged guy kicking the ball. You had a mentally challenged guy coaching for us. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go back. I guess in 2 weeks I'll be back in my cup chair. You have a good night.
You'll be back. You'll all be back.
When the
You're all
fuck
idiots.
did we get ice cream?
You're all idiots.
Why do you have
You'll all be there, the Florida game. Oh, we're going to win. We're going to win. It's going to be great. And there'll be Heupel with his stubble and his moo-moo. Heupel, personal appearance is not show fodder. My man has been doing a lot of stress eating, it looks like.
They'll sneak up on you.
He's hefty. We need to get him over there to Hotworks with DR of all.
Dude, if he's willing to listen to me about my fasting plan, I'm more than happy to give it to him.
865-966-3435, your phone number if you want to get in with us here this evening. It is the Voluntary Reaction. It is presented by our friend Marshall Griffin and the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. Shout out to all the armed forces members, veterans listening to the program tonight. If you find yourself in need of a military lawyer, there's only one man to call. It's Marshall Griffin and his team of experienced military attorneys at the Griffin Law Firm. They're online at griffinlawdefense.com. And if you're in the military and you find yourself accused of a serious offense like fraud, assault, DUI, anything like that, and you're in trouble with the man, you're facing administrative separation or having to defend your security clearance or license against adverse action, the Griffin Law Firm is ready to represent you through that challenge. No matter the circumstances, if you're in trouble, they want to help. Let VFL Marshall Griffin, who will be back. He's right now drowning in the pools of despair. Why do I do this? Why do I force myself to watch Josh Heupel and this team every week? I'm not doing it anymore, says Marshall. I'm not doing it. Yes, you are. You'll be back. You're one of us. All of us. Marshall Griffin, 888-707-4282. 707-4282, online at griffinlawdefense.com. At Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Remember, remain silent, request counsel, call Griffin Law. Adam is next. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, guys, you got me?
We got you. Go ahead.
I am one of those idiots in a parking garage right now. I've been in here for about 30 minutes since I texted Davey and asked for the phone number. Russ, it was good to meet you at Roberto's tailgate today.
Yeah.
I want to get y'all's thoughts on a couple things. It seems to me that the three losses we've had this year, you can chalk up to Tennessee beating themselves, at least to some extent. And to me, that comes down to coaching, but that comes down to coaching in year one, year two. So the logical next step here, and I'm not a fire Heupel guy, is you have to start looking at the assistants, right? And is Heupel willing to make changes? All offseason, it was, we need him to put some wrinkles in the offense. He's got to change what he's doing. He was willing to innovate there. So now this offseason, I think, is going to be, is he willing to innovate with his staff? And want to get your thoughts on that. And secondly, guys, the crowd this year, I've been at every home game for the past few years, maybe missed one or two. And this year, the crowd has been just embarrassing. Multiple times on third down, I was the only person standing. I would say every time on second down, I was the only person standing. And it's just embarrassing. And people left after that fourth down call, which we can get into the merit of that. I would have rather we got stuffed with a run and learned from our mistake at Alabama than call that play. But people leaving with 8 minutes left it's just embarrassing. And I wanted us to get the onside kick, not only to win, but to make all those people feel stupid as I feel right now sitting in this parking garage.
To the point about, I guess, the people leaving early, that sucks. But I do think, I kind of counted us out there. Whereas in 2022, watching that team, it's one of those where I feel no, they could be in it till the very end. But for whatever reason, and Adam, to your point, I would probably say a lot of it does feel like coaching. I don't have that sense of trust. There's not that feeling of, no, this team, they've got it. And I think a lot of that comes back to they're going to make that mistake on their own where it's ultimately going to bite you in the ass. I don't know from a upgrade standpoint where they think they could actually improve. And I say that from the standpoint of, I know Heupel's the one calling the plays, and a lot of people are going to say, well, he needs to relinquish that duty and give it to somebody else. I would kind of just give the exact same answer that Steve Sarkisian did whenever he was asked about that. That's the reason I got this job. Why would I give up the one reason I'm here for?
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to neuter the reason that we brought the guy in the first place, and that's why I think it's time to look at the assistant coaches. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Halsey and Banks are two younger guys. I think it would benefit this staff to bring in somebody like a Sam Pittman, somebody that has been there, done that, has some experience. Maybe he was around too long in their last job and can come in and bring a little bit of, knowledge outside of this coaching staff and Josh Heupel's buddies.
I mean, I love Sam Pittman. I think when he's just the offensive line coach, he's the best offensive line coach in the country. I'm kind of curious, but the thing there is like, you always going to have to look at it. It's like, I know we would want these people. Like I would want Brent Venables to be my DC. How, with Heupel's system being what it is, how do these coaches actually view his system? And he's a guy that, he generally just sticks with people that he trusts, that he knows. And while I do think there definitely are coaches like that would be an upgrade. It's, are they willing to join what he wants to do? And I don't really have that answer. My assumption is no, but yeah, I do think, like, even just from a recruiting standpoint, Glenn Ellerby is definitely not anywhere near Sam Pittman whenever you're talking about offensive line coaches. But it's one of those things. It's like, hey, if you're some of these schools like Florida or LSU, whenever you're going out trying to make that hire, do you just be like, hey, Sam, we have this much money too. We're going to be willing to bring you in. And like, he's probably going to be the highest paid offensive line coach in the country come next season. If that's what he still wants to do. I mean, he's not getting another head coaching job.
Yeah, it's just, to me, when the biggest issue in year 5 is self-inflicted wounds, like, you have two options, and it's you make some kind of change, or you just hope, like, well, I guess we'll do better with that next time, guys, and then we all come back and sit back down in our chair and hope for the best. So it seems to me the next logical step, if we're going to evolve, if we're going to stay ahead of what's hurting us, like, there just needs to be some mindset changes. And I think the biggest way to change a mindset is bring some new people in with some new ideas. And it just seems like that would be the logical next step and the next place to go. And just as far as the other thing, man, like, I was embarrassed of my section tonight, man. Like, it's such a poor showing when, the whole section needs the PA announcer to tell them it's third down in a game that means playoffs or no playoffs, and you've got people that are. We finally get back to the car in the top of the parking garage, and there's two girls doing a TikTok dance using their Hyundai's backup camera, and like, I'm like, everyone should be pissed. Like, why are we doing TikTok dances in a backup camera in the top floor of a garage that we're all about to have to sit in for 30 minutes? And I decided to play golf tomorrow, so I don't have to do the drive of despair back to Nashville. But the golf might make me more pissed off, so I don't know if that was a wise decision, but. Yeah, man, my section embarrassed me today.
Adam, what was the situation for you getting into the stadium today? Do you have any issues there?
So we have figured it out from where we normally go in. A lot of people don't want to hit that entrance that takes you up to the top floor, and so we'll hit that and go all the way up to the top. And then I'm in the north end zone, so we'll go all the way up to the top, go down the inside stadium stairs, and walk around in the outside stadium, not the concourse, but like the walkway all the way around to the north end. Not to crowd up my strategy here, but that's the way we've been doing it. Today we decided to go a little early just because I could kind of see how it was trending, and I was like, let's go ahead and get in there, watch the light show. So we actually got in real fast today because we decided to do it early. But when it's been slammed, that's been the way to go, is just kind of sacrifice a couple minutes, go all the way up to the top, and then work your way down.
Yeah, I'm just curious because, I mean, obviously this is not the best home slate. Whenever you look at the years now, we've rotated off. Whenever Florida, Alabama are home, those years are generally more coveted. I'm curious, like, again, it's not like it's freezing out there, but you always know, like, once it starts to cool off, the crowd takes a little bit of a hit. But I think probably a bigger thing to it, Russ, and I haven't been over there this year, but looking at how they've redone, the bottom section where it's like the high rollers are down there, if that's part of kind of the crowd.
No, I think that's a big part of this is they have put so many premium seats close to the field, and the prices are so high. The people that are going to these games now, there's not as many blue collar folks that want to get rowdy down there. There's just not. And look, I've sat in the West Club down there, and the amenities underneath the stadium there are nice. Mm. So if I'm paying all that money, you're damn right I'm going to be down there hanging out, enjoying the air conditioning or the warmth if it's cold, access to those beverages, TVs, all that stuff. And it absolutely takes away from the atmosphere in the stadium. I 100% agree.
Well, and it's not just those people do get in late, but I have more of an issue with, like, it's the biggest drive. It's the biggest defensive drive. You can tell some drives are more important than others. And it was like this for Georgia too, which is why I bring it up. It wasn't just tonight. And it's like people are sitting around waiting for the PA announcer to say it's third down. And then they get up and start making noise once they've already broken the huddle. It's like at that point, we're not doing anything. And we're in a really unique situation where we have the ability to have an effect on the thing that we care so much about, that we're all walking away pissed afterwards. And it's like, I don't think you get to be as pissed as me if you weren't standing up on second down, because you obviously didn't care enough to stand up out of your seat for a couple seconds and make some noise. Like, it doesn't compute in my brain that you're simultaneously going to be pissed that we lost and also tell somebody in front of you to sit down, or you're not going to stand up on second down, or you're just going to showing up and wearing black was not enough tonight, obviously. So, yeah, that's the last thing I'll say. It was really just kind of coaching question and crowd statement, but appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate the phone call. 865-966-3435. I was down there tailgating before the game. I think it was cool how I think they should just embrace the whole blackout thing and everything. I know there would be some fans like, oh, you don't need to do this anymore because we lost. But the light show and everything, that stuff is cool. But I kind of agree. That was a game. That was a close game. And I thought it would be it was loud. I thought it would be a little louder.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I just revert back, and we're playing Oklahoma, and I remember 2015. I was in the student section for that one, and it was by far the loudest I've ever heard in Eland. And it's just one of those things where it's I don't know if that can be topped. And we've obviously downgraded. I know they put the attendance as over 100,000. We don't have 100,000 people in there anymore.
You don't think so?
No.
This is what happens when you lose. You blame the fans. You got Adam sitting there in the parking garage. Oh, what am I doing? Would somebody just set off an Irish car bomb and just go full IRA on this place? Just blow this place to smithereens.
Well,
just end it.
I'm just glad we haven't, to stick with the UK, we haven't had a Hillsborough incident.
Somebody did hit me with the Robert Baratheon gif. Just give me something for the pain and let me die.
Game of Thrones, man.
Sam is next. Go ahead, Sam.
Till the last season.
What's up, guys? This is a really shitty night.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah. First off, Adam is totally right. That has been an issue for years. I have been in Neyland on third down, full pitch. I remember in Florida 2016, that game with Smokey Craze. And I'm literally sitting there on third down, screaming my life out, and there are people around me sitting down. It makes no sense. So Adam is totally right, and you can blame those people that come there. Just stay the fuck home if you're gonna sit down in those moments. And then the guy who compared Josh Heupel to Rick Dalton kind of feels like to me that sorority girl that you start dating, where you just ignore all of these red flags while you're dating her, and then you find out that she's cheated on you all these times. That's kind of what it feels like, because first we had the Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker issue, that battle in 2021. Then our defense has never really been good. We've always had offensive line issues. We lost the team in 2022 with the whole locker room incident. There's just been all of these glaring red flags that I think a lot of us, because of the Alabama game in 2022, have looked over. And to be objective about the Alabama game, they got called for almost 130 yards of penalties. We really got out of there lucky that night, and Josh Heupel's lucky he got out of there that night. And I don't know, man. I just think we've all just been kind of ignoring a lot of red flags, and I feel like maybe Alex Golish was a lot of that success that we had, and I feel like him leaving and him not replacing staff has been our really big issue this whole time.
Maybe. I still think it's just, I think the book is out, man. I think everybody's seen Heupel now. They have studied it and really zeroed in. They found some successful fixes last year. Heupel did make some adjustments this year.
Yeah.
And
and then we have the Joe Milton issue from last year too, where our offense is just completely stagnant, completely stagnant. And it might be because he's closing the book on him, because he might have limitations to his game. But it's what are we doing, man? What are we doing? And then the Nico issues and his recruitment and I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of red flags to this man that a lot of us have overlooked.
What I'll say to that is I wouldn't necessarily say we overlooked him. Like, I mean, again, like Heupel wasn't like a top choice for anybody whenever he got the job. Like, he stabilized this program to where we're relevant.
100%.
We're going to stay in the top 25. It's just, can you get to that next level? And I mean, to like what Russ was saying there, he didn't make the adjustments last year where it's like you're winning with more of a defensive minded approach to where it's, hey, your quarterback's not going to be able to take the top off of defense. All right, well, we're going to have the best running game we've had in years, and Dylan Sampson's going to set records at Tennessee. So you saw that and you're thinking, all right, this guy is able to adjust to whatever he's seeing. And this year, you've just kind of had to take a step back as a team where you're thinking, all right, well, he found a way to adjust last year. Surely he's going to be able to do it this year. And we've not exactly seen that in the games where we're playing these better teams.
Well, to be fair to Josh Heupel, the situation that he got put in this season, whether it is a domino effect from recruiting this kid originally from the beginning, that aside, the Nico situation, you being put in that as a head coach is awful. That sucks so bad. And the job that he's done with Joey has been phenomenal. And I would never blame this on Joey at all. So he's just completely out of this equation. But what bothers me about Josh Heupel is keeping around coordinators and position coaches like Ellerby and people like that we know we're not going to be successful. And you look at successful head coaches like a Saban, they will cycle out coordinators so fast the moment they see they're not working. And they constantly are cycling out coordinators that way. And I just feel like hanging on to people like Halsey when you see that our offense is definitely stagnant under him, and hanging on to Tim Banks when our defense is obviously stagnant. I don't know. It just bothers me. And I'm grateful for Josh Heupel because you're right. We were in the void of blackness for forever. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like we're starting to hit our ceiling with him unless we start getting some really world-class coordinators to get on board.
No, I definitely agree with the argument. It's like, hey, the ceiling, we might have reached it. And that's just, making the playoffs. He might not be a guy that's going to ever actually get you a win. I would like to think, it's a younger roster right now. Maybe in a year or two, if you do have the quarterback situation figured out, you've got a more veteran team, kind of like last year. You're able to go in there and finally maybe get a playoff win or two. But no, it's definitely a valid concern of just like, have we peaked as a program under him? And it's just one of those things. I just think the jury's still out, and everybody's going to have their opinion. They're going to be able to, take this off season, and there's going to be a lot of conversation about that. And so next year will be very, very important for him.
See, what worries me about the whole conversation with the playoffs is, he kind of got put in a crappy situation with the draw. I heard you guys say that earlier about, we probably should have been playing in England last year.
Mm-hmm.
That does suck that we have to go all the way up north and play an NFL team in Ohio State. I mean, that totally blows. But what sucks about that Ohio State game is I felt like our team quit. And I can't stand to see that in a Tennessee team. And that's what we used to see in the Butch Jones days, is you see them quit. And that just eats away at me. And I feel like maybe a test like Ohio State was a little too early for this team. But to see you quit under those circumstances sucks. And even though you got a crappy draw, that's not a good sign to me. And then next year, yes, we're getting the number one receiver and the number one quarterback, and that's phenomenal. But it's like, are we resetting again? Are we going to get a grad transfer? Where do we even go from here?
Yeah, but I mean, I would say you've had a different starting quarterback for the last 4 years. But it's just college football now, man. It's very rare that you do have a guy for multiple seasons.
Yeah, and see, that's what also worries me about this offseason with Nico is like we didn't go get a grad transfer to compete with him in the first place, anyways. Like that wasn't a thought process.
I think it's more of
practice.
Yeah, but the thing there is, who's a quarterback that would want to come in? It's like, hey, this quarterback's a young guy that was a 5-star stud, got his team to the playoffs last year. Who's a
buku of money?
Who's the quarterback that's like, oh, I can actually go in and compete for that job? Because it's like, I don't even think the coaches are willing to say, it's like, yeah, you can come in and, if you win out, you're going to get it. It's pretty much like you can come in, but the only way you're getting in is if he gets injured.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also like, I don't know. It just those red flags concern me, and I'm not willing to fire. Like, I would not be willing to put him on the hot seat. But if we don't start making some changes, and we don't start, letting some people know around the country that we're making changes, and that's not stagnant, and Heupel's not flailing and getting, in the mud with his offense, then I don't know where we go from here. But that's all I had to say, fellas. You guys have a good night, and I hope we beat Vanderbilt's ass.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Well, Vanderbilt got exposed a little bit today. They did come back and fight Texas, but it felt, Vanderbilt just fell on their face the first 5 minutes of that game, and Texas took control and never really let Vanderbilt have much breathing room.
Yeah, I mean, it was 21-0 run in the fourth for Vandy to make it look competitive.
Just kind of held on.
Yeah.
Just kind of held on at the end. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you got 2 weeks now to figure some things out.
And I know the schedule is going to be more difficult next year, but what's crazy is still at the end of the day, it's still an easier schedule compared to a lot of the other teams in the SEC. You're going to be getting I hope this makes people feel good. So non-conference, you've got Furman and Kennesaw State. Shout out Jerry Mack. But you play Georgia Tech, and they've been good, but like Haynes King is gone, so they're going to be having to put in a new quarterback, and that's a guy that's been very pivotal to their success.
They lost tonight, so just another. Like, you could have really moved up if you had done what you had to do, what you were supposed to do, what you were fully capable of doing, you'd be knocking on the door of the top 10 tomorrow.
Very, very much so, because Georgia, Vanderbilt, and Miami all lost. So those three teams lose. You're right there. Georgia Tech, sorry. But I mean, next year, so Alabama, which that's a team you're getting. Auburn, Kentucky, and LSU. Those are another 3. Those are home games for you. And you get Texas at home. So those are your 5 home games next year. Your road games are Arkansas, South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt. And really, like, I would just say, like, view Texas A&M as if it was Georgia, because that's kind of like just sliding it in there. But Arkansas, I think at the end of the day, Auburn, potentially Kentucky, LSU, Arkansas, and South Carolina are all going to have new coaches.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a 16-team playoff, so 9-3 becomes the cutoff. You go 9-3 in this league, you're going to have a damn good chance of making the college football playoffs. So there's just so many. Like, we don't know who our quarterback is going to be. We'll see. We'll see who the key players are. But I do agree with the overarching narrative that we've heard today from our callers who, they're pissed, but aside from one guy, I think maybe Travis was ready to put Heupel on the bus out of here with Danny White. I believe he was calling for the double firing. Most people are just saying, "Hey, look, man, like, Heupel, we love you. We love what you've done here. You have brought us back from the brink of college football death and restored us to relevancy, but like, you're making a lot of money here, and so we feel entitled to some expectations. We want to see you kick it up a notch, man. We want to see you force the issue here. Shake things up a little bit. You could probably do better than Tim Banks, defensive coordinator. Should you really be calling your own plays? Okay, maybe you should. But can you do a little bit better can you continue to tweak this thing? What's up with all the pre-snap penalties? How do you fix that? And those are things that eventually you are going to have to address, or your time is going to come, just like it did James Franklin, Brian Kelly, good coaches who just wore out their welcome.
And it eventually happens. I mean, it's rare you got a guy that's able to stay at a place for even a decade, I mean, you look at the SEC, I'm trying to think of coaches that have made it a decade, and right now the only one that comes to mind is Mark Stoops. And he's definitely worn out his welcome.
Do you think Florida though regrets not just getting rid of Napier? Aren't they just in a terrible spot getting rid of him halfway through their season?
I'm sure they
if we did that, Heupel finished 7-5, and we're questioning it all offseason, but then he struggles to open next year, even though the schedule doesn't look all that intimidating. But he does drop these ones. Aren't we in a similar spot?
Yeah, I mean, hindsight would be 2020 there, but the big thing you have to look at is just all these other schools that are making these moves. So LSU, Florida, they've had leadership issues. And with Scott Strickland at Florida, this is going to be, if he's able to make that hire, I think this will be his it'll be his third coaching hire, where it's you're reluctant to make the move there because the odds of you being able to make another hire, if you're him, are slim to none. That's how it is. So it's this is Danny's only hire. So, and again, I know a lot of people are frustrated with him for the baseball situation, but from an administrative situation, and you look at it from, he's only made one hire, and it's a guy that's actually gotten the program back to relevancy. It's unless something just goes off the rails, and for whatever reason you do have to move on from Josh Heupel, Danny White's going to be the guy making that hire. And right now there's nothing to put him in a situation where he's worried this offseason about having to do anything of the sort.
I wonder, when Danny White plays his little games in his head, it's okay, if Heupel took the UCLA job, I know, why would he do that? But if he did, and I had to fill this job tomorrow, I wonder what names he's thinking about.
Oh, he probably just goes back to James Franklin.
You think he'd call Golish? You think he'd call his boy Lance Leipold, who he hired?
I think no. I think Lance is at his last spot. Because what is he now? He's up there in age.
We considered Braum at one point, right? Jeff Braum.
I don't think he was a factor in Danny's search, but
that's true.
It was Curry.
Yeah, that's right.
You think he would leave Louisville? I mean, I've heard him connected to the Florida job a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got to get
Florida. But it's you say all these names. It's who right now would you actually want over Heupel?
Oh, that's true. And there's something to be said for, you bring in a new guy. Well, he gets the mulligan first year. He gets year 0 or whatever. Nobody's going to have any great expectations in the first year. Kurt Signetti doing what he did in the first year, that is an abnormality. That never happens, right? So,
he's changed the game. He's getting coaches fired and getting raises and extensions.
Yeah, it's true.
Callahan's available.
Jacob is next. Go ahead, Jacob.
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
Not good. So I got a little story for y'all, and we'll talk game. But I was calling y'all miserable as hell after this game, and they could not get through. And tonight I had a wonderful dinner with my wife. Had some drinks after.
Nice.
It's a great night. They could only be ruined by one thing, and obviously it got ruined by that.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get y'all on the line. Went home. You married men know this is a rarity. Made love to my wife. What's the first thing I do? I pull out my phone. I'm like, let's see if these assholes answer. And what happens? I get on the line. So here I am. Just brutal night.
Still the post-coitus glow.
Wait a minute.
You just had sex.
Walking around behind my house, underwear, just hoping nobody comes out. What a night. What a night, man. But all I've got to say, and this is nothing I can really talk too bad about. I'm not the fittest man myself. But Josh Heupel, we've got this man running our program, and I love him. He's done a lot of good. I'm not saying run his ass out of town with pitchforks right now. But the man is slovenly. He's big. He's got an unkempt beard.
Oh,
he is just an unkempt person in general. And we're asking him to be a leader of world-class athlete men. No wonder we're undisciplined on the field. No wonder we're undisciplined before the snap, after the snap, turning the football over. We see the same things year after year after year. And once again, I'm the last person to be throwing stones. I could stand to lose 10 pounds myself. edge up my beard myself. But you go and look at the great coaches in the SEC outside of Phil Fulmer. Who that is of this ilk has won big in the way that we're wanting to win? And I understand this is a new age. We are doing well-ish in this new age, but I think we've reached our ceiling at this point. And
hey, Jacob,
what's
let me,
really upsetting? Go ahead. Sorry.
Can we go back for a minute?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm just trying to piece together your night, because this is like, so you go out early dinner with the missus.
Oh yeah.
You're really enjoying your night. You guys connect. You have a great married dinner. You come back. You watch the Vols. You're really angry. You're pissed off like the rest of us because your team has lost. They failed to show. And what do you want to do? You want to call voluntary reaction, but you can't get through. So instead, you go and make sweet love to your woman. And now, like, was it like angry sex? I mean, I don't understand like why you would transition from trying to call to going and doing that.
I mean, the phone was there, and I was like, "Fuck, I've been trying to get on all night, so let's try it again."
I mean, at this point, like post-nut clarity's fully hit.
I mean, yeah, we've all had sex after bad losses. We're Tennessee fans. I mean, this shit's been going on for 20 years now. So.
Well, I do this show, so like I don't know. I've always been busy after losses, so
that's fair. That is fair.
Did you go to your wife and say, "Russ didn't answer. Let's hit the bedroom"?
No. Just you know, typical out with the wife's night. You know,
woke her up.
Yeah. Well, I'm honored, Jacob, that after ejaculating, you're like, "Hey, I'll give these guys a call." So
yeah, I'm still miserable, man. What can I say? Still absolutely miserable. And it's Josh Heupel's fault.
Jacob's just there pounding away. Damn it, Heupel is the worst fourth down call I've ever seen.
Gilbert could hit that kick.
Dorsal hair.
No one ever talks about how they conceived their kid on like a terrible night, you know? It's always like, oh yeah, it was a great night on our anniversary. It's like Tennessee got their ass kicked by Oklahoma, and it's like, and then here you are 9 months later.
Damn,
so.
Gilbert
The
can't
dark
make
side
an
of marriage
onside
no one tells you about, man.
Thank you, Jacob. We appreciate the call. All right, that was that.
Is that first?
That's voluntary. Well,
at least someone admitting it.
I'm trying to think. I
appreciate the honesty.
I don't think that's a first, but it's a first for this season.
I was going to ask a question. That whole call just threw me off.
Corey is next. Go ahead, Corey.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How did we let Brent Vegetables come in there and beat the hell out of us tonight?
That's what we're all trying to figure out. I mean, Tennessee, you look at the game statistically, Tennessee largely dominant. I mean, the turnovers are that's the biggest stat in football.
It is, but I think Heupel's lost his edge from where he was the first 2 years he was here.
That seems to be the consensus. We have people think he's lost his balls.
I think he has lost his balls. He's had teams on the ropes this year and just pussyfooted around with them.
I hope that that 13-year-old kid isn't listening with his mom anymore.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh,
my bad.
but no, you are fine.
Not worry about you, Corey. You're fine.
Yeah, I mean, what's this game if we go up 14-0 right off the bat? Like we just lay the hammer down, and it's like Kentucky where we just are in control the entire game. It's just you play that game where you go back and it's just if this one play happens differently, what was the outcome? Right. And it's you know that we were in the driver's seat and we let them off the hook, as Denny Green once said.
Yeah, it was hard. I was at the game tonight, and the first half, it never seemed like we were out of control, and then just out of nowhere, it's like we just lost the edge completely and kind of went into a shell a little bit. I mean, and obviously the turnovers played a big role into that.
Yeah, I mean, those You just hold on to the football and make a little bit better decisions.
I get fired tomorrow. Hey, leave them. Hey, we gonna get one in vital.
Who's getting fired tomorrow?
Oh,
Josh Heupel getting fired tomorrow? I don't think so. I don't think Josh Heupel got a lot to worry about. I don't like the shots taken at his appearance. I know it's a voluntary reaction, but personal appearance is not show fodder. But Josh Heupel could stand to tighten it up a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all I'm saying. 865-966-3435.
do we think we have a new defensive coordinator next year?
I don't. I think we probably should. I don't think we will. I think Heupel is loyal. I think he values program continuity above all else. I think Tim Banks has a big contract. I think that they will use the injuries to McCoy and Ricky Gibson as an excuse as to why this defense and maybe not even an excuse, maybe a reason. There's a difference between excuses and reasons. But I don't think they will make a change.
I mean, at this point with McCoy, I don't even know if it's worth trying to play with playoff contention being out. I could see it. I don't remember if I said this last week or not, but I could see a Tyson Helton type situation with him. When you look at all the jobs that are available, that's going to pull from other programs.
Banks? Oh,
yeah.
Like just because there's no better options.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to fire him, but it's like I like people. They'll say I'm crazy, but again, like how this guy is viewed, like he's going to have interviews.
A Western Kentucky head coaching
he will
job.
be interviewing for head coaching jobs this offseason for like a Group of 5 school.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that Brent Vegetables guy, I don't think very much of him as a head coach, but man, I'd love to have him as my defensive coordinator. Is there anybody else out there that we want? Oh, here's the other thing. Here's the thing that's frustrating. If he does go, if Banks goes, I bet you anything they promote William Inge.
Very well could happen. That's a likely situation. It's just like with everybody being fired, like, and it's not, I'm not just like looking at this from the head coaching position, but just all the assistants that are on the market. Like, I really am curious to see how that all plays itself out. Because most of those coaches are still finishing out the season, even though the head coach has been fired, like all those other guys. I mean, their contracts are going to be obviously, not renewed for the next season whenever the new guy comes in. So there's going to be a lot of shuffling across the board, and I'm just curious to see if Tennessee's a part of it in any form or fashion.
Let's get Brad in here next. Go ahead, Brad.
I was just listening to Dookie Davey there trying to fucking just basically save himself from a complete fucking shit show. But anyway,
Brad,
please.
What have we been sipping on tonight, Brad?
Well, I drank a lot of beer, then I started drinking Jim Beam. I'm drunk and fuck. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you.
No,
you go and tell
we didn't
Bear.
think you were
tell
drunk.
Bear. You tell Bear I love him.
He's sick, so he can use the well wishes. He's probably passed out.
Right. Well, I well wish the shit out of Bear. I love all you guys. Hell, I do, but that goddamn fucking kicker, that's the fucking second time that some bitches fuck me. Fuck, oh goddamn it. Hell, he's left or right, it don't matter. Hell, he goes there and it just Jesus fucking Christ, man. Goddamn. I'm sorry. Was I wrong?
No, you're good, Brad. What was the biggest disappointment tonight outside of the kicking game for you?
Oh, well, so the defense broke down quite a bit a couple of times. That was kind of fucking bullshit. Like, time watch that. Like, it was they fucking Pavia. No, not Pavia, but that was a different game. Yeah, Mateer threw a fucking pass, and I was like, oh, they got him. Oh, no, they don't got him. He's gone. But that, that shit that happens.
It happens.
Same thing with fucking everything else that happens. Same thing with me being a fucking drunk. It happens. You know what? Shit happens. But
shit happens.
sometimes you just want fucking things to just go your goddamn way.
I know, buddy.
And yeah, you know what? I just hope that would be my play this evening, but it wasn't. But it happened. But anyway,
What do you think about our coach, Brad? Do you think Heupel should go on the hot seat next year?
Absolutely not. That's stupid. That's dumb as shit, man. Dude, like that guy, like I never met anybody in my life fucking coach as hard as he did. Like he coaches. He throws it out there. He coaches.
You're a Josh Heupel guy. What about Tim Banks?
Well, I know I've heard the talk of Uncle Fluffy, but
well, you get smashed and you get kinder and gentler, Brad. You're not an angry drunk. You're very forgiving.
I'm not an angry drunk. I'm a very appreciative drunk. But like I know I've heard talk of Uncle
Except when
Fluffy.
it comes to the kicker. You want to kill
that
that guy.
Fuck that goddamn son of a bitch. Fuck him. Goddamn.
He only missed one kick tonight, Brad.
I don't care. Hell, that was all it took. Hell, he missed that one fucking kick. Fuck him. Jesus Christ. Oh, well, you know what? That's sad, and I shouldn't say that.
No.
That's really bad.
Take the Lord's
I
name in
really
vain.
Well, I really shouldn't just be like that. Like he should. You know what?
That's somebody's son.
That is somebody's son.
That's somebody's son.
He should be able to go out there and do what he needs to do. And you know what? Regardless of assholes like me, he should be able to just take that shit home and go home and fucking forget about it.
You know what the tragedy of today is? We had to sit there and watch that Oklahoma kicker make 3 damn 50-yarders, and we don't even get the cookies. We don't get the cookies. Fuck me.
Fuck you, Russell.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Russell. Fuck you, Russell. Well, I don't want to hear about that shit.
What did I do? I just want some damn Moonshine Mountain cookies.
Bringing up some bad memories. He's got to relive all those 55-yarders going in.
You tell him about this goddamn stupid ass fucking
What just happened?
Hell, I don't hear. What?
Did you knock something over?
No, that was my wife.
Is she drunk too?
No, but she's just done random shit. Hell, it don't matter. Don't worry about my wife.
I'm just checking in on you, bud.
Make sure everything's good. Brad, you be safe tonight, all right, buddy?
Throw in the water.
Hey, Russell, I love you.
I know, buddy.
I hate Navy. Fuck that guy, man, dude. Any guy's a fucking Duke brother, man. Fuck him. So, hey, you tell Bear next time I see him. High five, double clap.
All right,
down
bud.
low. Go ahead.
All right, be safe, Brad.
He's gonna be in for a rough tomorrow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we've had some smashed callers through the years of this program, but that's right up there.
Hey, don't worry about his wife, though.
I'm worried about everybody. I mean, wives have we've seen have played an important role on this show.
There's a lot of noise going on in the background. Sound like something got knocked over. I was just being like, hey, I was like, hope everybody's good. No,
Really?
No ill will or intentions on my behalf.
Turned it around on you, Russ, a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I was catching strays out there. I'm just trying to take care of everybody, make sure everybody's okay. And all of a sudden, I'm catching the F-bombs. Okay.
And you bring up their kicker, and he just loses it. It's like PTSD for him. Just watching the referee's hands go up.
We get the
snuck across the crossbar.
A 50-yarder, we got the cookies. If Gilbert makes one.
Yeah.
And that dude made 3. Oh, man. Poor Max Gilbert. Mad Max is making me mad. Tell you that.
He thought he made the one tonight. He was like putting his hands up, and then he went.
It was close.
It was. I thought it went over.
He wanted to go and challenge that.
I think so.
It's not a reviewable play.
I mean, if you make that, if that goes through, completely different game, right?
What was the score at the time he missed it?
You
was it 7-0?
I think it was tied at 7. It was either tied at 7 or 10-7.
It was to go. Yeah, it was to go up 10-7. He missed it. They go down and they actually take a 10-7 lead.
Okay.
Wasn't there a penalty that should have been called on one of those kicks too? That pushed him back?
One of their kicks that they made,
A jump.
Like we jumped and then they jumped. Something should have been called.
I think they caused us to jump off sides is what they were saying.
Oh yeah, and they didn't blow the whistle.
Was that the same drive Perlotti hit the guy out of bounds late too?
I don't remember if that was that drive. I remember, so when they were showing the camera angle, you were obviously behind the kicker where there was the false start. And so Russ and I, we actually didn't notice it live. And then they come back and they show it from the line of scrimmage, where you can see the line of scrimmage, and that's where we're like, oh shit, we didn't even know that had happened.
And somebody was pointing out the fact that Mason Thomas was lined up off sides. I think on the play he scored on as well. He's like lined up in the neutral zone, it looked like.
On the fumble recovery?
Yeah, I think so. Or
I
saw
that.
screenshots of it.
I see, like, I saw where they put the line.
Yeah.
I get why the ref did not throw a flag there.
Right.
I do think our center actually moved the ball up forward just a little bit beforehand.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. That was a dumb play.
But I mean, that was on Sanders.
I thought they were going to call.
Well, Kitzelman couldn't tackle him. It was so annoying.
I thought they were going to call for on the fumble that we recovered.
Yeah.
He punched the
amazing.
guy's face mask.
Yeah.
And then he grazed the guy's face mask and then knocked the ball out. I thought they were going to call.
And then that next drive after the fumble on that play, we ran that stupid Aguilar design run like he was Mateer.
Yeah, where it was a 3 and out.
And then they punted him, and it was a terrible punt.
I mean,
to the 50-yard line. And they went down and scored or got a field goal or something.
I wasn't expecting a Jeremy Pruitt type comment where after, guess it was Kentucky or something, where JG threw multiple pick sixes. And it's just like, well, our guys got to do a better job of bringing down the defender whenever he's returning it. And I'm just thinking, it's like, if Kitzelman makes that tackle, I doubt they go down there and score a touchdown with the way their offense had been. And then whenever you're right before the half, if Ethan Davis tries to use his arms to tackle that guy, they probably don't get a field goal attempt there.
That's true.
So it's just like, that's 10 points if your tight ends can tackle, which again, I mean, I know you're not expecting them to, but it's just like those little things where it accumulates.
Let's also not let Brent Vegetables off the hook here for some of the idiotic things. He was like, why are they throwing that ball?
Oh, yeah.
That was it. T-Lander picked off.
Spillman.
Why are they throwing that? Why are they throwing it all in that situation? And then why are they scoring at the end of the game? Why not take another knee, make us use the final timeout?
I wouldn't have, after that guy went down, which it looked like he was looking back towards the Oklahoma bench of like, what do you want me to do here? And then the next play, they literally just run it in after they made it burn one timeout.
Just go ahead and run some more clock.
Yeah. Like Stockton did. Stockton took a knee.
It was a comedy of coaching errors out there tonight.
Both sides, yeah.
Heupel and Venables put on a clinic of how not to manage a game.
Well, and they had that call a couple times where the wide receivers were lined up wrong. Like Staley did it, and then
what are we doing?
And they did it.
What are we doing?
And Herbstreit and Fowler were like, I've never seen this before.
You got to be parallel to the goal line.
He's lost his balls. He's Kenneth all over again.
Joshy Boy is next. Go ahead, Joshy Boy.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, JB?
We drank from the keg of disparity tonight.
We do.
Yep. Guys, I want to ask you a question, especially Davey. So after we went up 7-0, when we stopped Oklahoma on their first possession, we get the ball, we're driving, have a chance to go up 14-0. How soul-crushing was that when we fumbled and they returned it for a touchdown?
I mean, I think I said it earlier, Joshy Boy. I was feeling like this is going to be Kentucky, and you just build a lead, and you're able just to maintain, and you get out of there pretty easily, and we're drinking from the keg of glory, but that obviously was not the case for tonight.
Well, how about,
I
mean, we talk about the little things and Kitzelman not being able to get that guy on the ground. And then on the second interception, Joey throws over the head of Ethan Davis, and he just kind of brushes off the guy. Just wrap him up, tackle him.
Yeah, wrap him up.
And like you said, Davey, if you're Kitzelman on that play, just grab his face mask, rip his helmet off. Like, do what you got to do to get. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty. Don't give up a touchdown.
Nobody else making that play. He even pulls his hamstring and is still able to get into the end zone because no one else was around.
That's true.
That's embarrassing.
Guys, yeah, I saw it in the stadium. Did it look like when he was returning that ball, the defender for Oklahoma, does it look like he stepped out of bounds before he turned it for a touchdown?
It was close. I didn't see anything from the replay to give me anything to overturn it. Let's put it that way.
Because Heupel was livid with the referee because he thought the defender stepped out of bounds before he got in the end zone. I saw him on the sideline.
I mean, if they're not going to review it, do what I've said. Get a penalty, Josh.
Yeah.
Well,
get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's going to stop. That's going to stop them right there. I can promise you that.
Yep, I agree, Davey. So, who was number 3 that dropped that fourth down pass?
Jack Van Dorsler.
Jack Van Dorsler.
Was that who was the Austin Pope who dropped the ball against Florida?
Well, he fumbled it going into the end zone, didn't he? Wasn't it a fake punt?
Was that what it was?
Yeah, a fake punt, and then they knocked it to the back of the end
he
zone.
never recovered. Like we all thought he was going to be a good tight end. I hope this isn't Jack Van Dorsler's Austin Pope moment.
I hope not, Russ, man. The play I want to go to with Joey's 2 picks, the interception to Brazel in the end zone. If you're Joey and you know the safety's going to be coming in, spotting in to make that play, you got to overthrow it in the end zone because that ball was perfectly underthrown for the safety for Oklahoma to pick that off, guys.
Oh, I mean, both interceptions were just horrible decisions. Just horrible. And he hasn't done that. I mean, that's what we had heard about him was that he turns the ball over, and he really hasn't. He's had a couple of picks, but they've been spread out. And to do that twice and a half was very unlike him.
Right. Davey, I agree with you. I don't think they're going to fire Banks because they had the injuries with McCoy and Gibson, but I feel like Heupel doesn't have the stomach to fire one of his assistants either.
Yeah, I would say, and again, like I'm standing by my thing where I definitely view it more as a personnel issue on the defense than it is a schematic. I did think overall we did a better job wrapping up guys today for the most part. Obviously, that's been a big issue of concern. But yeah, I mean, if you're Banks, you obviously had a great season last year defensively. You lose a ton of talent. You come in this year, you're expecting to have a lot of guys that you ultimately don't have. I mean, I'm interested to see kind of what that injury report looks like. Obviously, we have a bye this coming week, so that's not really a big thing there. But and then they don't have to release an injury report for New Mexico State since that's not an SEC game. But if like you give Banks, you give him the opportunity to reload this offseason, you come back and you get the same performance. It's like, yeah, you got to make a move. But I truly still believe that, you know, he can turn this around and we can see a much more improved defensive side of the ball.
Agreed. Guys, have a great night. Go Vols.
Thank you, Joshy boy.
Go Vols.
Staying positive on the way out. Joshy boy, you can't get him down.
He was handling that well.
Can't keep him down. Everybody handles this their own way.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, last year we didn't really – the season came to an end with Ohio State, but in terms of having everything in front of you, you never really had that moment where it's just like, this is where you know, we meet the end of the road. And it's kind of a weird feeling seeing that, but I guess that's part of just having the success that you've had the last couple of years. So it sucks, man, but it's one of those things to where you've got a couple of weeks to really, you know, think about how you want to finish these final 3 games if you're Tennessee. Because Nine and 3 versus 7 and 5. I mean, that's a huge difference whenever you're looking at the offseason from a recruiting standpoint, from a going and getting these guys out of the portal. And I know money's still going to drive a lot of that at the end of the day, but I mean, you want to have that good taste in your mouth whenever you get set for spring practice in the offseason program.
Yeah, and like, what is the McCoy kid gonna? We heard that Jermon McCoy wants to play, but now that the playoff is out of it, like, does that change the equation? I would think he's not going to play in a bowl game, no matter what.
Would he get a medical, like a red shirt, or is
he's still projected to be a first round
Yeah.
pick? So it's like if he can perform well at the combine and pro day, then he can go. But if I'm him, and let's say I like, for whatever reason there's a setback and he is not able to perform, because I can't see an NFL team taking a chance on that guy if they're not able to actually work him out before making that type of an investment. And at that point, if you're not ready for the spring, which, I mean, there's no reason, again, like currently, unless there is a setback where that should be the case, I think you do consider going back to school for one more year, prove you're the top corner, become a top 10 draft pick. Obviously, the way that's slated with the NFL and their CBA for rookies, it's a hell of a payday.
Let's get Tucker in here next as the voluntary reaction presented by the Griffin Law Firm continues on a Keg of Despair Saturday night / Sunday morning, this fall back Sunday here in East Tennessee. Tucker, go ahead.
What's up, Russ? First time caller. The only thing that makes this night any worse is driving on 75 South in 47-degree weather while it pours down rain. So just cherry on top of the night.
Brutal.
Yeah. Are we seeing the regression of Josh Heupel? We he did this at UCF. His boy Danny saved him kind of from getting fired down there, brought him to Tennessee. Are we seeing that slide?
I don't get the feeling that we're sliding backwards. The phrase I keep using is plateau. And like we've seen him lay these stinkers before. Usually it's on the road, but like I'm beginning to get the feeling that this is as good as it's going to get with this guy.
Yeah, but tonight's something we have not really done under Josh Heupel. Like losing at home. I mean, last 2 years the only team we've lost, or last 3 years the only team we've lost to at home is Georgia.
I don't think he's ever lost at home as a favorite.
Yeah. So I think I'm not out on Josh Heupel yet. I think it's pause for concern. I'll tell you who I am out on. It's Danny White. I hope Danny White goes to Florida, goes to LSU, but it's awful. The fan experience, I think someone called earlier, the stadium has just been lackluster. It takes fucking an hour and a half to get into the stadium. It was a problem tonight. Then you fucking buy a $15 Danny White beer in the Truly thing, and they're like, oh, you can't take that in. So you missed the start of the game because you want to waste the fucking beer. But the whole fan experience is awful. Season tickets are up like $2,000 in the last 2 years. But I think Danny White is I'm hoping he'll go. And if he takes Josh with him, good. But the whole fan experience has just been, I just sat in fucking C21 garage for an hour and a half trying to get out of the place.
Whoever decided we're going to take the way that people have been on campus for years with no problem and just institute all these insane rules about where you can go and which direction you have to walk and all this, like that person needs to be like loaded into a cannon and shot into the sun. Like, what an idiot in search of, and I don't know if this is Danny or somebody else, but I was down there tailgating. I had to get back so I could come watch the game with Davey and come do this. And I was getting picked up at 6 p.m. So like 5:30, I start walking back to Fort Sanders where I was going to rendezvous with my ride and come back home. And like, they won't let you cross volunteer. Like the Vol Walk has already happened. Band's already like gone. Maybe the band hasn't come yet. But the Vol Walk just happened. So I'm like, okay, well, like they've gone now, so I can cross the street. It's like, no, you have to walk. Like I had to go so far out of my way. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I had to like added about an extra mile to my walk, and I was just so pissed off walking like the complete wrong direction to try and get home. But I feel you on that, Tucker. I mean,
Yeah.
can we just, whatever we're doing this year, can we just scrap those plans and go back to what we've been doing for the past 100 years over there, please?
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason the fans aren't, loud like they're fucking exhausted because they're, in their like
that is a good point. That is a great point.
Going to the stadium and you're, fucking exhausted before you get to your seats. And now, where the founder suites are, we're in Q, but if you want to try to go to XY, you got to go down and all the way around. They took out the concourse. And so I'm not one on saying, you priced a bunch of people out. I think people are all going to experiences and that,
we're not the only ones doing it. It's this way all across the country.
But at some point it is like there's a, and I can't imagine, like the whole Danny White entertainment thing, what that is going to do to make game days a cluster. So I'm out on Danny White. I think go to LSU, go to Florida, go to somewhere else.
Wow.
His dad used to be the AD at LSU.
Yeah.
He was at Duke too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Why
He was
don't you
Duke
guys
for a
take him
long
back?
time. I think they're all right at the moment.
Who is Duke's AD these days?
I've already forgot her name.
Oh, you got one of them female ADs.
Mhm. What's her name?
Big win for Duke today. Took down not Miami.
Clemson. 46-45.
Dabo.
Nina King.
Yabba dabba. Yabba dabbo. Yeah, Tucker, it's when you're paying, when you're I mean, like if you take your wife and kids to the game, I mean, you're talking about over $1,000 easy for a day of UT football these days. And when you start charging these prices and people are paying these prices, they get angry a lot quicker and they want to take it out on somebody and they want to see change. They have the same conversations at Penn State and LSU. That's why they made changes. That's why the conversation around Josh Heupel is changing this year. It's not fair, but it's changing.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
No, I get it. And it just makes me, mad that we do all this stuff and we just kind of, get treated like, I think, Danny White, it really, what pissed me off was the baseball, press conference he did. He doesn't even talk to the coaches. He kind of
so
seems like
weird.
he's too good for everyone.
That's so
and
weird.
That really made me think like,
Who did that? Who reported that? Anybody in here report that? What are you doing, dude?
So I just think that really made me look at Danny differently and say, yeah, he actually doesn't care about, the 100,000 people in the stadium. It's the 2,000. And as long as they can go right up into Founders Hall pretty easily, and drink their McClellan and their red wine, it's a good day in his book. And so I'm out on him. But I still think Josh can turn it around, but I wouldn't be surprised if next year's his last year on Rocky Top. Y'all have a good one.
Wow. Still thinks Josh can turn it around, but he wouldn't be surprised if next year is his last year on Rocky Top. What percent chances next year Heupel's last year on Rocky Top?
5. I'd put it that low.
Wow. Okay. That's probably good, man. I don't envy these schools looking for. Sometimes you envy a school like when that's looking for a coach. Is like, oh well, at least they're going to get a new guy. They get some hope. Like I'm not there.
Yeah, I mean, right now, again, you look at the roster or the schedule this year. You've lost your 3 games against ranked opponents, and I'd pulled up the 247 Sports composite team talent ratings. Oklahoma's actually more talented than we are when you look at that. They're 14th, we're 16th. So the 3 teams you've lost to are more talented. And it goes back to, though, you would think a guy like Josh Heupel, you're able to scheme up around that, especially at home, and get those wins. You're in these games, which is, more than you could say, but that the fan base and myself, we're kind of like, no, it's more than you should just be in these games. These are the games you win. if you're a serious program.
Sean is next. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, guys, can you hear me well?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, so first, Uncle Fluffy, I think this whole time it hasn't been Tim Banks. It's Josh Heupel.
Oh, Uncle Fluffy.
He got us for the last 5 years.
Josh has gotten a little fluffy. I mean, that seems to be a theme here. A little soft.
Well, I mean, it's so looking back, because now, the season's basically, our goals are gone. We're not making the playoffs this year. And really, if we made the playoffs, it would probably lead to another game like last year where we just get smoked out of the playoffs. So you just kind of like look at everything as a whole, and everyone's kind of talked about it with like sloppy play and everything. And you just see no accountability. And I think somebody brought it up earlier when you talk about the assistant coaches and then hiring your buddies and being comfortable instead of evolving like a lot of the great ones have done.
Well, I mean, we were so hyped up about the evolution of this offense this year, and switching up the splits and some different formations. You've seen some jumbo formations using the tight end and stuff like that, but it hasn't been enough.
Well, I hear that, but then we're talking about, and I know it's all hypothetical, right? But we're actually talking about if Tim Banks leaves, that there's a possibility of promoting from within instead of going to get a defensive coordinator from outside to improve this defense. Because, like, if we have last year's defense, what kind of team is this year?
Last year's defense with this team, you're beating Georgia, you're winning today against Oklahoma, so you're at 8-1. I doubt you beat Alabama if you just take into account all the mistakes you made that just was hurting yourself there. But yeah, last year's defense, you're 8-1 right now.
And so, and I hate playing the woulda, couldas and switching out teams, but it's just, there's not any evolution. And you just kind of see this from the coaching staff. It's the same mistakes we saw 5 years ago when, we were all talking, and Davey, you were calling it, going like, hey, this is kind of a Heupel team. It's kind of, loosey-goosey and a little sloppy. And we're sitting here dealing with the same thing. And tonight it cost us a game.
Well, what's weird about that is, so the big thing with Heupel's quarterbacks is they've really cut down on interceptions and they've been highly penalized. And it was the exact opposite tonight. A lot of interceptions, very little penalties. And so while it was, overall still sloppy whenever you look at it from that perspective of you just, missing some blocks and it's resulting in these turnovers and just overthrows, that's where you're just like, what are we doing? Especially whenever you start off and you're looking so crisp, you just go right down the field and you score a touchdown. And then it just evolves into what we saw. You're just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. So, on the way out, we're another mentally weak team. And if he doesn't change something, then, Davey, I'll disagree with you. I think I think next year is Heights last year. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. No, appreciate the call. And I think a lot of people are going to be in that boat where you just look at it from the standpoint of, okay, if you realize you've reached your potential, the program is at the best it's been in probably 20 years. Go back to, maybe last time we made the SEC championship. It's like, if you could look at it from the standpoint of, we appreciate everything Josh has done. He has stabilized this program. He has gotten us back on track. Now it's time to actually go out and get somebody that's going to be able to get us to the mountaintop.
I hate we're having that conversation. I know we're not having that conversation right now. We're projecting into the future.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's been 5 years. I mean, it's about what you get these days. I mean, Spur used to say 10 years is a good run for whether you're successful or not. Like 10 years is probably time for change in that business. So I guess Josh is halfway there.
I mean, he's got the ability to where it's on him, whether that's the conversation, we'll say probably pretty early on next And we don't have the exact dates of when we're playing some of those SEC teams, but
yeah. I mean, if this thing goes south, if we go, we're going to beat Florida or Vandy, right? We're going to win one of those games.
I
feel
would
like we're
think
gonna
so.
win. If we go 8-4 or 7-5, you're not making a change, obviously, this year. But if you stumble out of the gates next year, particularly losing to a team that you quote unquote shouldn't lose to, if you lose that Georgia Tech game, or you lose to Arkansas, something like that next year, and you're like 1-2, or you're 3-3 halfway through the season, that's when it starts, man. That's when the chatter really kicks up.
Yeah, and going back to whenever I was going through that list, I think I had 4 teams for sure going to have a new head coach. I added South Carolina into that mix just because I think Shane Beamer's probably likely to bolt just to reset his clock. You look at that, and you lose a game to a first-year head coach at a program that's obviously trying to get things going, and that they should not be anywhere near you in what would then be year 6 for Heupel. I mean, that heat's going to get turned up.
For sure.
Would you like a Heupel quote from after the game?
Sure, hit me.
Do I?
At the very end, he goes.
He's always so forthcoming with information about these games.
At the end of his opening statement, he said, "We got to play smarter to win a game like that." Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, you certainly don't have to play dumber. I don't know if that's even possible. Could you could we be any dumber? I don't know. I don't know if you could be any dumber. Jay, Justin, and Josh are the callers. All lines jammed when one drops. That's when you got to call. That's when you get the dialing fingers busy. Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Long time, first time.
We're just sifting through the rubble and the wreckage, looking for survivors, Jay.
I mean, I always talk about getting rid of Heupel silly. I mean, he's done a whole lot. I don't know who else you go out and get better, but I mean, you let Brent Vegetables, like that Corey guy said, come in here and they ain't never put up 30 on an SEC opponent this whole time, but
they came in here and flopped around like a dead fish, committed 2 turnovers, committed 11 penalties. You outgained them by over 100 yards and found a way to lose on your home field.
I agree. And
that's coaching malpractice, Jay.
I agree. But, I mean, who are you going to go get that's better? I mean, he's turned around this program compared to what it was before.
Well, you're right. I mean, we're saying that. It's just it's frustrating watching.
I agree. It's inconsistency on both sides of the ball, but your defense they done everything they could tonight.
They showed up.
Defense compared to what it's been the first 8 games of the season, you couldn't ask for anything better. What they done tonight, they performed, especially with young cornerbacks.
Yeah, no, I mean I won't say gave them that game, but we kind of gave them that game.
I agree. That's exactly right. I mean, Oklahoma's been weak in the cornerback position, and Joey just made a few mistakes, and it happens. But I agree there needs to be more from the program, but at the same time, this was not on the offense tonight, and that's what everyone seems to want to blame it on. Always, whenever Tennessee loses, that's what they put it on every time is the offense. But the defense played great tonight.
David on Twitter says, let Josh Heupel take that LSU job. I'll roll with Gruden.
Hey, there we go.
Why would you bring Gruden in? He hasn't even coached a down of college football.
He might
has
score
a Super Bowl ring.
Might score more than 33 points.
Got
Super Bowl ring? What, in 2001?
I think it was 3.
3, excuse me, sorry. But, yeah, exactly. And he hasn't done anything since.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why everyone's so obsessed with Gruden.
It's past high noon. It's time for a vodka
he-
soda made with a vodka you actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw
One
vodka
second.
soda made with White Claw premium
System
vodka. JB
Oh,
Smooth only drinks vodka,
155. That's why it clicked over.
Oh, sorry.
JB Smooth wants to tell us about.
Once people keep drinking.
Yeah, wants that White Claw. Got to sell that White Claw, man. Ain't going to
Gain an
drink
hour
itself.
Startled me.
But I don't understand why everyone's so obsessed with getting Gruden in the program. I mean, he hasn't recruited, hasn't coached it down in college football.
He's got a lot of orange blood in his body.
I mean, a Super Bowl ring. What does the Super Bowl ring mean? How many does Belichick have? And look how North Carolina's going.
He got a big win.
They did.
Yeah, against Syracuse. Took them a little while.
They beat them worse than we did. Held them to fewer points.
I think I do have to disagree on one point with you. I think you do have to look at the offense in this game. There was, and maybe not specifically the offense as a whole, but there were a lot of plays that felt really flat. Like that 4th and 1 call is one thing, but 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, when we're doing like a speed option play with Joey, just didn't make sense in that moment.
Right.
I just,
when you haven't ran him all year, he hasn't ran all year.
He doesn't really do that unless he has to scramble out of it.
Right.
You're trying to keep your run game going, which is what they always talk about. Heupel is more than just a passing coach. He's a running guy, but you only got, you're going up against a tough defense running it. I'd almost want to throw it still on that 3rd and 2, or I don't know. I think there's a lot of shortcomings from the offense tonight.
I don't disagree technically. You can look at it as every time they wanted to throw over the middle, it was there every time. But anytime they wanted to run, Oklahoma was there to stop them. There was never any running room. But anytime they threw over the middle, there all the time. Kiffin, they threw all over them last week and were there to scramble around. But your defense done everything they needed to do tonight, and the offense just didn't show up, which is typically the other way around. It's usually trying to outscore opponents.
We didn't get any points off turnovers at all, did we?
I think we did. I think we scored at least one touchdown.
Yeah, I think the fumble we did not, because I'm pretty sure that was a quick 3 and out, and we just punted on the ball, and they went right back down and scored.
The interception we ended up scoring on, right?
Yes.
But it is very disappointing that Oklahoma hasn't scored 30 points in an SEC game in the 2 years they've been in the SEC, and they come into Neyland and put up 33.
Their offense only scored 23. That's how I like to look at it.
Agreed, but still, any other game they've played, they haven't put up 30 points against anyone in the SEC.
When our defense played about as well as it possibly can tonight, and we didn't take advantage. And I don't think that Oklahoma, maybe this is just sour grapes or whatever. I just don't think they're very good, man. I think Mateer's struggling. I think teams have figured him out. They don't have any running game, even though they gashed us a good bit tonight. I don't think they're very good, man.
No, they end the season with Alabama, Missouri, and LSU, and there's a chance they could lose all 3 of those.
That's what is it. Yeah, exactly. That's what is disappointing is you had a Oklahoma team that hasn't been good the 2 years they've been in the SEC, and Brent Venables hasn't been able to be a good coach other than at Clemson. And this is what you allow to come in here. But, I don't necessarily agree that it's all on Heupel. It's just a personnel and a team effort kind of thing, in my opinion. And maybe a buy-in.
Hey, Jay, great first call, my man. Appreciate you. Anything else?
Nah, I'm good. I hope you fellas have a good night. Appreciate y'all taking the call.
Yep. Oh, my computer just dialed back, and we just fell back. Went from 2 to 1.
Gotta start all over.
I was having a big yawn during that process.
Jacob, if you want to let your wife know, we've got to go back an hour now.
Jacob? Or that was Corey. Was it Jacob or Corey?
I thought it was Jacob and his wife were having.
Jacob
made
sweet love to his wife. Yeah. So you think he has to go back and do it
again?
again?
Time's gone back now. A weird little random thing I noticed when I was checking out some of Heupel, like how many years and the games he's won and things like that. Since he's been at Tennessee, he's 2022 and 2024 were double-digit win seasons. So maybe that's some positivity for next year.
There you go. 2026 going 10-2.
He goes double-digit wins in the even numbers.
Justin is next. Hello, Justin.
Hey, guys, you got me?
We got you.
All right, so I'm a little banged up, so I'm going to try to keep it together. Davey on 3 and Out back in the day was talking about Josh Heupel's regression at UCF, and it's going backwards. I feel like we're in that hole there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, he took over after, Scott Frost. Yeah, Scott Frost left for Nebraska, and it was just one of those things where it's like, his teams didn't improve. Now he's bucked that trend here, but it is the first year where we're actually seeing regression for him as a head coach. Outside, I look at all things considered from going 11-2 to then 9-4, from the roster standpoint. But I feel like based off the schedule this year, what you were bringing in, and from what we saw early on, it's like, yeah, you still got a chance to go 9-3, but I'm not anticipating that being the case.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the best case scenario is we're losing to Florida, and then we're taking Vandy out of a playoff, and that's about it, and that's terrible.
Yeah, that's what we've been reduced to, playing spoiler for Vanderbilt.
Got to be the dirt doggers, man.
Yeah, and it sucks because I like Bear. I married a Bammer, and I'm taking her to her first game at Neyland in 2 weeks, and now I hear all these nightmare stories about getting in and out of the stadium. I'm just like, this was easy back in the day. Like, I don't understand it.
Well, for the New Mexico State game?
Yeah.
You should be okay there. I can't imagine it's a huge – I know it's a homecoming, but I can't imagine it's as raucous as it is for, like, these primetime SEC games.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's easy in and out just because, like, I don't even know. Watching tonight's game, like, makes me scared to get snipped because of the way they're coaching the game. It's like they already don't have any balls. It's like, if this is what it's like, I'm definitely keeping mine. You know what I mean?
Well, you just get there's a difference between a vasectomy and a castration, Justin.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, but
I would hope Josh Heupel has a vasectomy. He's got a couple kids already, right? Maybe that's what happened. It was a botched vasectomy. He woke up. He's like, "Where are my balls?"
Is that what the coaching is, or is it just on the play on the field, or is it coaching? I don't really know at this point.
That's the $1 million question. Is it coaching, or is it just play on the field? It's been this way all year, man. Like, when we play teams with a pulse, aside from the Georgia game, we have been sloppier than dog shit all season long. Mississippi State was a miserable game to watch. Arkansas was a miserable game to watch. Of course, Bama beat our brains out. Kentucky doesn't count because they don't have a pulse. Tonight was a miserable game to watch. Like, we're good. I mean, we're one of the best offenses in college football. We put up yards, but like, if we don't score a touchdown in 3 or 4 plays, we ain't scoring. We can't string together 10 play drives. We just don't do it, man. If we have to run more than 10 or 15 plays, we're going to do something stupid. We just are.
Yeah. No, well, I'm not going to jump off a bridge tonight, that's for sure, but I'm going to try to keep it together, and y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate the phone call. Do not jump off a bridge. Do what Jacob did. Don't jump off a bridge. Enjoy yourselves, folks. Find distractions.
I get to go watch the Titans tomorrow.
Boy, that's last week was the first Titans game. I usually get to this point, but it's usually in November. But last week is the first Titans game I just didn't watch. Not a single snap.
You were lucky. I saw people advocating that there needs to be a rule that the Titans can't play in the late window if there's only 3 games. That's how bad it was. When you could really watch much else.
Is the new stadium open next year?
Should be. Yeah.
Did you see what Brownlee Jr. tweeted out, by the way, about that time when the Jets won their first game? He asked what time it was, and he said, "I can watch the Titans lose."
Oh, little bitter there.
Yeah,
to have a former player saying that. I mean, it's trade deadlines on
Who said
Tuesday.
Brownlee Jr.
Oh, ugh.
But yeah,
that ended poorly.
Yeah,
he's a bad breaker upper.
Yeah,
okay.
That was a rough one.
Where's he now?
The Jets. He won his very first game as a player this season.
Because
he wasn't here for the Arizona game. We traded before that.
Who's the worst team in football
right now?
Titans or Jets?
Yeah, it's not like he really went to like a great opportunity.
The Saints have at least been competitive. I mean,
how many games they won? One?
One, yeah. Titans, Jets, and Saints all have one win.
A pretty good race for the top overall pick, don't we?
Yeah. Which, I mean, that like it's gotten to the point now where, again, nobody's really solidified themselves as like, oh, this is a quarterback you got to draft. But, I mean, people are even saying like Cam Ward's look so bad. It's like, do the Titans even think about going quarterback again if they do get the number 1 overall pick?
Who do you go for, the Indiana guy?
Well, that's the thing. I think, I mean, they're going to build around Cam Ward. They're not going to cut their losses that soon. But I mean, right now the Titans, what do you think they've been outscored this year with what their point differential is? It is worse than the NFL, so you could probably argue they are the worst team from that. God, anybody want to take a guess?
I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
What?
I'm reading the YouTube chat here. I got too many things going on for 2 a.m, and I'm fried.
The point differential for the Titans in their games, like how many points have they been outscored of? If you add up all the points they've scored
8 games.
In 8 games, probably lose by about 10 or 15. So I'll say 90.
Okay. Second worst in the NFL is actually the Saints. Their point differential is negative 81. Okay. Titans are negative 120.
Whew.
So I think we can actually just go ahead and settle this. The Titans are the worst team in the NFL.
Damn.
Jets are only minus 53. But yeah, Titans aren't even competitive. They're not a serious franchise.
Well, the Jets had a game where they threw for like negative 10 yards, didn't they? Against the Broncos in London or wherever it was.
They should have the Titans and Jets play this year. A neutral field with nobody in the stands, and they should take the losing team and just execute all of them. Contraction.
Castrate them, you know?
Yes. Mike is next. This is
we got Josh first.
Josh, and then Mike.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
Hey, can you hear me?
What's up, Josh?
Hey, first-time caller, long-time listener. I live in the Reno area, which is San Francisco Giants country. So, I want to talk about a couple things. I don't think the problem lies with Heupel solely, nor even Banks. I think the problem is the fact that you've got some of your major NIL money guys on the shelf right now.
It's not helping.
I mean, everyone, even Vegas had Tennessee at 8-4 this year. So, I mean, I don't think it was a matter of playoffs this year. I mean, it looked good when we played Georgia really close.
Yeah, and there's also part of me. It's like, okay, the injuries are huge. That has really hurt Tim Banks, obviously, that side of the ball. But also, like, we keep Aguilar's only been here for a few months. Like, if we had just gotten him in the winter transfer portal and he was able to go through winter workouts and spring practice, that's got to have a lot to do with the sloppiness. Because, like, the penalty where our guys are looking at the sideline and they don't get set.
Yep.
Right, that's on Aguilar because he's got to give them time to get set and then snap the ball. But I mean, that dude's there's so many things going through his mind right now because he is just piecing this together. And that's why I say, like, I can't get on him, man, because what he's been able to do to put up the numbers he has is phenomenal. And I'll give Josh Heupel a break there too, because his quarterback left right? The day before the spring game, he went out to the scrap heap, and Joey Aguilar was the best thing there. And he's molded him into a very competent SEC quarterback. It's just not enough. Just not enough. And he's going to get a pass this year, man. Josh Heupel ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
But
I think.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Aguilar's actually been the godsend this year. Had it not been for Aguilar, who knows what we would be. I mean, I know Nico's had some good, decent games at a really bad UCLA team, but the light bulb hasn't clicked on for him. I mean, watching all the California teams out west here, I mean, Aguilar's probably the saving grace for Heupel this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, as quick as the turnaround was, we're probably better with this than we would have been with Nico. And I think Nico would have taken a step. It's easy to pile on Nico. I think he would have been better this year, but I don't think he would have been as good as Joey.
I don't blame Nico. I blame his dad. I mean, I think we all do. And I think Heupel handled that situation as well as any coach in the country could. But at the same token, Aguilar, I mean, for what he's been, it's pretty good. But I think it's a lot of things. I think you've got a new offensive line out there. I mean, some of the games this year, they've looked really, really good. And some of the games, they've looked really, really suspect, including tonight. I mean, they were just bull rush from the start tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, this team has that's what's frustrating, I think, to a lot of our fans is if it were just one thing, you know, if it were just the defense, you could zero in and just like, all right, Tim Banks is the scapegoat. We'll blow him out of here. Go get a new D coordinator. But your offense has been, you know, between the bad play calls, the silly penalties, the turnovers, the dropped passes, you know, all those things just add up. And then you got a kicker who's terribly inconsistent. You got a punt returner who's muffed at least 2 or 3 punts now. By the way, Mama Boo says he's got a hip flexor injury. She's been active on the socials tonight. So like it's just you got a lot of little things. Now you can also say, Josh, that hey, that's on the head coach. That's Josh Heupel's responsibility. It's year 5. He should have answers for most of these things. So,
and no one's not going to deny that. But at the same token, I think we're in a new era of college football now. That even as a coach, that you've progressed in each year. I mean, you're just dealing with different variables every year. It's just going to be different. You're not going to have any more of the Georgias and Alabamas that take the league by storm 10, 15 years.
No, I agree. I think you got to stay the course with Heupel. There's going to be some pressure next year. The Wolves are starting to howl a little bit, but it's important not to overreact in the short term. It's 3 losses to all to ranked teams. You haven't had just a complete disaster yet. This was close. But let's go out and try and find a way to beat Florida and or Vanderbilt. At least have one decent scalp on your wall. By the way, you know, the Florida is Florida. Vanderbilt was exposed today. Yeah, they're a good team, man, but we shouldn't lose to them at home. That's little brother, man. That should be a non-negotiable. I don't care how good they are. You beat Vanderbilt at home if you're Josh Heupel.
Oh, I completely agree. Switching gears to
that's one thing. Sorry, Josh. I mean, we talk about the narrative and nothing would happen this year. I mean, you lose to Vanderbilt at home, it's going to be an ugly offseason.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what happens before or after that, you lose that game.
They're going to the playoff because they're Auburn and Kentucky next 2 weeks.
I don't care, Brett. It's Vanderbilt.
Oh, I agree, but I'm saying that's going to make it even worse. They're going to be in the playoffs. You're going to Music City or whatever you're going to.
Outback.
Duke's Mayo Bowl.
I think we've got Vanderbilt this year, and one reason is because Pavio is running his mouth all off season about Tennessee. So
hopefully, Josh, good stuff, my man. Anything else?
no, I just want to say that I think they got the baseball hire right with Elander, and I'm glad to see Tony got his gig with the Giants. So
he got a front row seat for tonight.
Where was he sitting? I saw a video of him. I heard he was going to be here. I saw a video of him.
I don't know where he's actually sitting. I imagined he was on the field.
Oh, man. Our Prince. Take good care of him out there, Josh. Thanks.
Well, thank you, guys.
Magic Mike is next on the Voluntary Reaction presented by the Griffin Law Firm. Hello, Michael.
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Mike, were you in there tonight?
Yeah, I was in there tonight. Very, very frustrating. And I will say off the top, so I do appreciate Coach Heupel and everything that he's done here. So it's probably a lot of frustration talking tonight, but it does feel bad when you look at things and see that Vanderbilt's probably a better coach team all around than we are. So I do think this is going to be a very tough off season for Josh, and he's going to have to make hopefully some difficult changes and make some upgrades moving forward. I think coming into this year, we all said probably 8-4 was the most likely finish, but I think if you look at that, you would have said, okay, well, the 4 losses are probably to teams that are better than us, and that hasn't been the case. We've really just shot ourselves in the foot in really all 3 losses. I don't know. Alabama's certainly very good, and winning down there was very tough, as we've seen. Winning on the road is tough in general this year, but so I don't know about that one. But at least in the 2 home games here, we've really kind of wet the bed.
Yeah, and I think Bama's better than us. I think Georgia's probably better than us. But the thing that Georgia and championship teams, they know how to win, man. And that's another aspect of this that is disappointing is I thought we had a guy, Mike, that knew how to win, a guy that knew how to get it home and know it wasn't always going to be pretty, but he's going to figure out a way to have one more point than the opponent, particularly when he had the better team. And I'm starting to question that a little bit. And, man, that's frustrating.
Well, I just wonder if he should walk across campus and talk to his buddy Rick Barnes because, we kind of know what we're getting with Coach Barnes every year. No, we haven't made the Final Four yet, but we know that Coach Barnes is going to put together a team that's going to have us in the hunt for the Final Four.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we know that Coach Heupel is going to have a team that is going to have us in the playoff hunt every year. And this is a program that we should be a top 15 program every year. We have the money, we have the resources, we have the talent. I don't know that we have everyone that has that mentality, though.
What do you think's missing with the mentality?
Well, I think and I did hear some jokes, and I don't want to. I know personal appearance is not show fodder, but look, the guy doesn't shave. He looks a little bit out of shape, and I think that how you keep yourself is a little bit, how you do things. And,
I'll tell you what somebody said to me earlier today. And it was a female fan. It got me thinking. The Vol Walk, okay? And this person says to me, they come out in their sweatsuits down the Vol Walk. And you look at all these the Alabama players, their walk, they're wearing their suits and tie. The Tennessee players you had to wear a coat and tie. And I'm like, whatever, it's clothes. You want guys to be comfortable. You don't want to work in a blister and, dress shoes or whatever. But there's also part of me, it's like, is it reflective of a lack of discipline in your team? You're not buttoned up off the field. You're not buttoned up on the field. And I think that's kind of what you're trying to say, Mike, is when we look at Heupel over there and maybe he's a little bit sloppy and his team looks a little bit sloppy.
Yeah. And I know I don't envy him whatsoever dealing with kids at that age that, we're living in an era with no rules where, people like Boo Carter and Nico think that they're worth triple what they actually are. So you've got to placate to some of that. So it's certainly not an easy position for him, but at some point you have to establish that you're the adult in the room, and that they're essentially the employees, and you've got to establish the rules, and here are the consequences if you don't follow them.
I will say I think they did that by telling Nico to kick rocks. I view it. I just kind of like look at when he's on the sidelines, and he doesn't necessarily strike me as, while I think Josh Heupel's a very good coach, he doesn't have that same mentality that I see from a lot of the national championship winning head coaches, where I just think when I'm watching them, it is win at all cost. Like I don't see that with him. And I don't know if that is from a looks perspective, kind of like we're talking about, where you just see it as, he's buttoned up, he's over the top. But I look at these coaches like getting upset on the sidelines, but also being able to control themselves when they need to. And that's just not something I see with Heupel.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what the answer is. I'm not saying that he's on the hot seat or that he should be fired or anything, but I do think, this is going to be a very important off season for him, and he's going to have to make some tough choices that, he's not been used to having to make in the past. And I think there's an opportunity to really get it right here and set us on the right foot moving forward. He pulled us out of the gutter. We can't forget what we were before he got here. But this is a good to great conversation. This is a place where you should be great most years. Yes, you're not, we're not going to win a national championship every year. I think there are probably some unrealistic expectations around that, but I think that most every year we should be in the conversation to at least be in the playoff. And, we've been there this year, but it's been our own undoing that is essentially ended the season on November 1st.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're in a situation where you're playing in the SEC and you're looking at it from Tennessee's likely not going to get a ranked win this season, or if they do, it'll be the last game of the year. That's kind of problematic.
Good stuff, Magic Mike. Anything else, my friend?
Nope. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Basketball starts on Monday.
Yes, sir. Mercer. Got to take out some frustration on you guys. First time we've seen Mercer since the NCAA tournament, Conzo Martins last year. As far as I know, unless we played them preseason one of the past years.
I don't recall playing them, but again, it is Mercer.
Have you gotten through basking in the reflected glory of your Duke Blue Devils victory in Thompson Bowling Arena?
I didn't care. The only thing I said is I just want everybody to stay healthy and have fun.
What a cop-out. What a cop-out.
It's an exhibition game.
You guys can have this one. We'll take the tournament win a couple of years ago.
40 minutes.
Yeah, it's an exhibition game.
20.
Let's play our 5-star freshman for 39 minutes. Just an exhibition.
I think that was smart simply from, hear me out. Last year, while Cooper Flagg was what Cooper Flagg was, I think he could have whenever they went into some of those games early on, and they lost a couple of those, I think it was like Kansas and I can't remember the other one. Maybe it's Kentucky. He kind of struggled as far as the physicality went there. So letting him play against a team as physical as Tennessee, I think was a very smart decision.
He's going to be good. That's all I know.
Did you give like a little fist bump after the game though, or?
No.
Okay.
I think I was sweating out a fantasy football game, so I pretty much just flipped it right over to Sunday Night Football.
Fair enough.
I wanted to be in town, but I kind of got sick last weekend, and I was like, well, I'm coming back this weekend. Would have been cool to go over there and watch them. See what Rick and the boys had, see the environment. I heard it was a good environment. I did see people complaining about fans leaving early. And I'm like, guys, this is an exhibition game. I don't blame them for trying to beat traffic in that one.
Patrick Netherton, who is the host of the Barbecue Hound podcast in Shreveport, Louisiana, reports that his Baton Rouge sources say Nick Saban flew into Baton Rouge earlier this week and was offered $20 million a year for 3 years, gets to handpick his successor, and becomes AD after 3 years is up. He's going home to talk it over with Miss Terry this week.
The guy doesn't even want the AD tab afterwards.
You're calling the host of the Barbecue Hound podcast a liar?
I ain't calling him a truther.
Jacob is next. This better not be the same Jacob. Did he have sex with his wife again?
We're gonna find out.
Oh.
No. We do that on Thursdays. We got it planned every Thursday.
You schedule sex on Thursdays?
Well, so that's my first day off of the week. I work a 3x4 schedule, and so it just started happening that way.
So you spring out of bed Thursday. You're like, yeah, Jacob's getting laid tonight.
Today's the day.
Let's go.
It's awesome because I go out to eat with my son. Me and him, that's our day that we go out to eat whenever I pick him up from school. And then I come home and we do that. And then I just sit down and watch Thursday night football. Thursdays are a good day.
Sounds like it.
Learning
a lot about our Jacobs today here on Voluntary
Wild
Reaction.
Man. We all know Danny White is kind of a sociopath and thinks about himself. What if he looks around and sees all these coaches getting fired, all these ADs giving make decisions, and he's just like, I want to do that this year, and he just pulls the trigger on Heupel anyway.
He already got to go through a coaching search, so he's got his fix there. Might have been short-lived.
Okay,
but no, I don't think any AD's in a spot where they're wanting to have to make a move.
Yeah, I don't think they want to do that, particularly for a coach that they hired, because Danny knows, like, no matter how well everything else has gone in basketball, baseball, and everything else, it's like if you have to fire the football coach that you hired, you're on the clock. And like, you better get it right. And if you don't nobody gets to hire 3 football coaches. Very few get to hire 2. So if you hire another clown, I'm not calling Heupel a clown, but if you were to fire Heupel and you bring in a Billy Napier and it goes south, you're getting fired too.
And I mean, we're seeing these schools pull the trigger quicker. And if you're Tennessee at this point, and again, like, I know this is just a hypothetical, but any school at this point who's not fired their coach and has not been working the back channels, like, you are at a real disadvantage as far as the timeline goes, is trying to line up that next head coach.
Yeah. So about the game tonight, and kind of a lot of the games over Heupel's tenure, is like he made that statement tonight that we have to play smarter. And I actually agree with him, because you see, they'll line up in defense, whatever, and watch the offense on the other side change the play. Well, they're obviously changing it because of the way you lined up. And then the defensive backs, the linebackers, they don't react differently. Like, okay, well, we're set up to stop the run. They're obviously going to pass this way, but it's like they're always surprised that they're running a quick out or they're running a slant. That's my problem with. I mean, that was the same issue through it, is that the players that we have here, they're just not they don't really have high football IQs.
I think that's pretty common at that level, though. There's about a lot of guys that just haven't been playing football forever, and then you get into that environment, and it's national TV, and there's just a lot going on, and it's hard to think about more than just the ball, and like, it's really hard to think about the game on a deep level. Like, I'm surprised at how many college guys we see now, not scoring at the end of a game and taking a knee and going ahead and just running the clock out. Like Gunnar Stockton did that today at the end of their game, and the Oklahoma running back tried to do it, and I thought he scored anyway.
I did too. I thought he went in. Oh, well. And then my last comment is, like, I don't want Heupel going. I don't even want the coordinators gone. I want the people that are coaching the players individually and obviously not teaching them how to play the game right and have the right technique and do the right have the right details in the game. I want those guys to either, get their ass chewed out or replaced with people that are more detail oriented.
Davey, do you think that the coaches are not doing an adequate job of teaching the basic rules of football?
That all starts at the top. Like, they're setting the tone for this. I don't think I fully understand the question as far as where.
Like, we got 2 minutes and 9 seconds left, and Joey Aguilar runs it out, and they think the clock has stopped, prior to the 2-minute warning. Just throw the ball away there. Like that, everybody in the stadium thought the clock should be stopped, and then me and my 12-year-old son's like, yeah, they should have threw the ball. He should have thrown it away there.
Well, I thought it stopped too.
Like
that. I don't know if they knew the rules in that situation, because the clock only stops for first downs under the 2-minute warning. So when
under the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and obviously that was not the thing a couple of years ago. That went into effect, I believe, in 2023. But if you are Josh Heupel here, and this is why I think this is something that definitely falls on Heupel, while you hope your quarterback has the self-awareness and understands that, Heupel's the guy in Joey's ear. Like, he's able to communicate with him at the headset. Like, let him know, like, hey, this is where we're at from a time standpoint. Let us know. But he's probably too concerned about just getting the next play in. But I think if we're talking about the same situation there, Tennessee was just coming right back on the field. I don't know why you don't already have 2 plays called, because I think we either ran the ball for like a couple of yards or just like hit something over and maybe gained 5. Don't remember the exact situation, but you shouldn't be looking to the sideline to get the next call. That should have already been established before you even got on the field.
I agree. Well, I appreciate y'all taking my call. Have a good night.
Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate the phone call. The Jacobs getting busy tonight or this week. Anyway, Thursdays.
Yeah, I was going to say Thursdays kind of makes sense because it's right before the weekend. Like, you're really kind of giving yourself a 4-day weekend there.
Start the weekend off with a bang.
I will say, did it not feel kind of crazy too right before that 4th down call for us to waste that clock and call timeout?
Yeah, like when you called it, like if you're going to use a timeout there, you just have to use it as soon as the first play's over with.
It just felt on that 4th and 1, kind of similar to what you're saying with knowing what your next 2 plays are when you're trying to move fast at that point under 2 minutes. You should know what 4th down call you're wanting to go for if you're going to go for it.
I just feel like you should have scripts for all this stuff. I feel like they usually do. Like, you know what you're going to do. Like, if you're 1 possession game, 2-minute drill, this is what we're like. These are the plays we're looking for. Boom, boom, boom. And it just felt like that one drive. We had the first one and he scrambled and ended up getting 10. He got hit and get 10. And you're like, okay, that's good. Get up on the ball and let's go. And then Heupel's like, he's looking at his sheet. He's looking out there. Like, our guys are huddling. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Be on the ball, ready to go.
I thought ultimately this season they've done a good job with tempo, but it seemed like a setback today, especially in those high-pressure situations.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's just a Joey thing, like he just hasn't been here long enough. We're still trying to hold his hand a little bit, which again, not his fault.
Yeah, but they talked so much over his first couple of years under Heupel how quickly we'd snap the ball.
Yeah,
I mean, they'd make a point of it on TV, and yeah, I don't think that's not happened this year at all.
When this offense is humming and he's snapping it with like 31, 32 seconds on the clock, like that is light speed. And I feel like we've snapped it with, 30 seconds on the play clock a good bit this year, but not, and I understand you can't do that. And sometimes you gotta wait and you get a call in. And some of that when you're waiting till the last minute is if you they do a check with me and Heupel calls in a play. The defense is they're watching that, right? And so they're going to adjust. So, like, you'll notice a lot of time Heupel, he'll just sit there and wait until like 10 seconds to call in the play so that the defense doesn't have time to check based on his check. There's a little cat and mouse stuff going on out there. But obviously you can't do that at the end of a game when you're trailing.
Yeah, and again, I'm not going to know everything that is going through his mind as far as like if he is trying to just, have that chess versus checkers kind of mentality. But you look back with this system, it's just built on the speed. You always hear people talk about it's not that complicated of an offensive system. It's just you run it at a speed that other teams aren't able to keep up with, and you take advantage of them there. And there were times tonight Oklahoma's players were winded, and you could tell, but we made a sub, which allowed them to sub and get some fresh guys on where they were able to take advantage of that. But it's just, I mean, does it go back to, the 2022 offense with Hendon Hooker running the ship? Is that just going to be the peak of what we see from a Josh Heupel offense? And right now, all indications are it is.
Well, I mean, we were leading the nation at one point in total yardage and/or scoring this year. And, I mean, didn't put up enough points tonight, obviously, but put up 456 yards. So, I mean, those numbers aren't going to go down a ton. Probably put up a big number against New Mexico State. It wasn't the story tonight, but I think defense is the story of the season in terms of like what let you down. I know this offense has been sloppy and frustrating to watch at times, but damn. You're always going to need defense to keep you in with Georgia and Alabama. You got enough tonight, and you squandered it. AJ is next. Voluntary reaction going on hour 3. What's up, AJ?
Nothing much, guys. Just driving back down to North Georgia. But, yeah, just disappointing tonight. Was in the stadium and just had a couple of things. One, I think dark mode, our media team kills it every year whenever we've had it, and you're looking forward to the game. And then you get into the stadium, and it was really terrible, actually. You get into the stadium, they turn off all the lights, they light up the logo in the middle of the field, but then basically all you have is the dance team dance in front of the donors, and they light up the tee a couple of times and then do a couple of the spotlights. And all throughout that, there's just no crowd interaction, just real good music to get the crowd pumped up. And I think usually we do a decent job of that, but literally just after that moment that you've kind of created all throughout the week, just for it to kind of fall flat was a pretty rough way to kind of get the energy going during the game. And it really felt like that did affect a lot of the crowd. Two, I think with offense, I would love to just hear what you guys think, but I just started to wonder with our running backs and giving them all just like their own series. Like, I feel like with Peyton Lewis, he's kind of a different one than Star Thomas or Bishop, but I feel like it's almost like whichever one you've got in there, it kind of becomes a little bit predictable. Like that 4th and 1, I don't remember. I don't know if Peyton Lewis was in there or not, but if he's not, do you run somebody like him in, a bruising kind of back to possibly just draw more attention to the center of the field and then throw something that's outside to give it a little bit more just contrast? I don't know, just feel like it's just starting to get pretty predictable. And on a night tonight, like where it felt like we had a really hard time getting the run going, you just start bringing in guys for different things and just trying to mix something up. And then defensively, I really don't think Oklahoma was that good. I think we just got to just start talking about that this defense just is what it is. And when you've got a linebacker with turf toe on both feet and you've got T-Lander who is just proven just to be really slow, and you don't have Will Brooks on the back end of your defense putting Boo Carter into place, I just think that you're going to struggle really hard. And so I think Tim Banks should probably get a pass on this one. I know it hasn't been great, but I really just think he doesn't have a whole lot to work with. And just a couple of different things I'd just like to hear y'all's thoughts on, but just a rough night overall.
Yeah. I think, thank you, AJ. A lot of people probably going to disagree with the Tim Banks should get a pass. But I think he probably will. And AJ might be right. Maybe
I mean, I've been in that camp. It's more personnel than scheme in my mind. Now, at the end of the day, I get you can go back to, well, he's a defensive coordinator. They're going out there trying to get these guys, but I look at it from an NFL salary cap standpoint now, where it's where's your money tied up, and are those guys on the field? And right now, that's not the case with your corners. And we lost more guys at the defensive end position tonight, so it's interesting to see what's going to happen there. But it's not like I'm going to sit here and say like, oh, Tim Banks is the best defensive coordinator in the country. No, I do think he's a top 20 defensive coordinator, and I think given Heupel's system, the way he tries to run that offense, you got to have somebody that's a little bit more unconventional. And it's a team that, or a defense that's going to take their chances as far as trying to force the turnover, which is going to lead to some breaks here or there. But I mean, there were a couple of moments they were able to force those turnovers and get the offense the ball again. But again, I mean, like I said, given what Josh Heupel's offensive system is, if you're holding a defense or if you're holding the opponent's offense to under 28 points, Tennessee should win the game. And Josh Heupel's offense did not come through tonight. You can put the special teams in there too, because if, he said Will Brooks, and been a minute since I heard that, but Max Gilbert hits that first field goal and, you go up 10-7, you're playing that game differently there at the end.
Yep. Yeah, it's frustrating, man. And the other last thing I'll say about Tim Banks and the coordinator position is you got to be careful what you wish for. I remember when Butch Jones blew out his defensive coordinator, John Jancic, they kind of moved on. Big John, the janitor.
Mm-hmm.
And Jancic was pretty good. Like I remember him being like, people did not have a negative opinion. I don't think he was viewed as some sort of defensive mastermind, but there was very much a good enough feeling with John Jancic. And then they made
Shoop, there it is.
They made the move, and Bob Shoop was the defensive coordinator up at Penn State. He had a good track record and a great reputation. And Butch Jones goes out and hires him, and Vol Nation was ecstatic. We were all excited. Finally, we've got the cheat code, a mastermind defensive coordinator with a great track record. He's going to come in here and ameliorate our defense and get things to where they need to be. And it blew up, and Shoop was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just terrible. And I think it was, scheme change. He came in here without bringing his assistants in with him and just had to sort of take the assistants that were already here. And it just didn't go well. And I don't know, man. I think you got to be careful. I think you're hoping you get Ricky Gibson back next year. You're hoping that the Redmond kid really develops, makes the jump. And then obviously you're going to be looking for some portal help. Got some good young prospects coming up, and you hope that we can get back to what we were last year in 2024 on that side of the ball. I think that's what they're going to try and do. Guys, I'm about loopy because my clock says 1:45, but it's really 2:45, so it's about 3 a.m. I got to go to Cookout and get this cheeseburger in me and this peanut butter fudge milkshake.
It's not a bad idea.
You can come with me, Dave. See what dudes like me are putting in their body at 3 a.m.
I'm tired, man. It's I'm ready to hit the bed, call it a night.
Rest up for the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I was
driving over there in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, don't do that.
So
just don't do that.
They're expecting me to get my media credential. I got to go pick it up.
Just say you had car trouble or something.
I'm probably going to miss their next. Well, I got to go to Bloomington in 2 weeks, so I don't know if I'll be back for their game. I don't even know who they're playing then, so I don't want to have to cancel 2 times in a row.
I think they got a bye week after the Chargers.
They do, but then I don't know. Like the Bloomington games on the same week we play New Mexico State, and I've already forgot who the Titans play that week.
Magic Mike says he just ate a whole pizza.
Nice.
Sometimes you just got to fill the void. the void of loneliness and despair. Just fill it up with.
I mean, a
sugar
milkshake's
and
good, but a whole
dough
pizza,
and
it's a lot.
we don't know. He didn't say what size pizza.
He didn't say the brand.
He ate a whole pizza. My man just
I'm
sit
so
there,
mad.
listen to voluntary reaction, just tearing it up, crust and all.
Oh wait, the Vols and the Titans are on a bye next week. Oh, that's actually really nice.
We can get some stuff done. Yeah. All right, boys, let's have some closing thoughts here. Great to see young Marcus Young back in the mix and in the hunt. Brett Hullander. Davey, I'll let you start us off. Closing thoughts.
Yeah, I want to concur on that and appreciate you guys coming in, helping us out, especially with the short notice of the other scoundrels not being able to make it in. But listen, this is a very frustrating night overall. You look at how things started and ultimately ended to where we're drinking from the keg of despair. I'm really frustrated simply because, it's like all about the hopium, and having another 3 weeks of the playoff conversation would have been great. It would have helped a lot as, we kind of approach Thanksgiving, but that's just not in the cards for this season. I do think that, this team you still can win these final games. And I just hope they don't let tonight make it to where like this loss turns into multiple losses, because you did have so many things you're going to look back on and just be like, man, if I would have done this one thing different, like this outcome's going to be in Tennessee's favor. But Josh Heupel, get back into the room with the coaches, figure this stuff out. I mean, the fan base deserves to win these types of games, especially at home. And, dark mode, last we'll see of those for the Nike uniforms. Got that coming up. Shout out Danny. But outside of that, guys, no, I do feel better now than I did at the beginning of the show. And like we always talk about, this is therapy. But listen, we gotta figure some things out this offseason and make that push to where we're back in the playoff hunt in 2026. But appreciate all you all listening and calling in and interacting in the chat on YouTube. Very thankful to have you all support us, and it's good to be able to do voluntary reaction.
Yes, sir. Marcus, any parting thoughts, words of wisdom, complaints, grievances?
Well, complaints, I just think it's disappointing to lose this because we truly controlled our own destiny. And, you would think the way that our defense played, despite how they've played all year, the way they played in that first half, especially in certain moments in the second half, getting those turnovers, you'd think that this offense could have gotten it done, and they couldn't. And it was very disappointing. But, just like Davey said, this is therapy. It's very nice to be able to come in here and hear other people feel the same way that we do, so that we don't feel alone in it. And, honestly, the three things I learned from this is that Josh Heupel might have lost his balls. Diarra Vol is a cuck.
Oh.
And I got to get married so I can have sex with my wife at the end of Tennessee losses.
Change your name to Jake.
By the way, Magic Mike says he hadn't eaten since noon.
Okay.
So that was his excuse.
God,
and
he's
then,
going on a long time.
Yeah, and then Jay on Twitter says Magic Mike would be better off if he was a Jacob.
Have something other than do than eat pizza.
Jacob's out there getting it in.
We got to hear from more Jacobs because they're having a good time.
I seriously thought it was the same one. It sounds similar a little bit, but
his is only on Thursdays. So,
yeah. Brett, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Short notice, both of you. Short notice coming in, helping out. Appreciate you guys.
Happy to do it. Walker pulled on a full shift yesterday while we were doing the remote, so I feel like I owed him one,
Nice.
while we're out there. So yeah, happy to do it, even in losses.
Boys, appreciate everybody for calling in and helping us get through this group therapy Keg of Despair edition of The Drive.
Did you get a lot of candy yesterday with your son at the trick or treating?
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of candy at the
Did you?
house. That's
Costumes
probably
look
what
good.
do what?
Costumes look good.
Oh yeah.
You weren't lying about his blow up.
I thought that was Bear at first with you, honestly.
Yeah, we were at the Monsters Inc. thing going on last night. Got a good bit of candy, so yeah, we'll go and get some sugar. That's probably what I ought to do is just go eat a bunch of that stuff. What's worse for me, Dave, the candy or cookout?
Well, if you at least get some protein in the system.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's probably a little
something a little
probably
substantial.
A little better. Yeah.
And I get the double fried foods though. I get the fries and the cheese bites. And that's just
you don't have to. They got coleslaw.
You don't go with the hush puppies?
Coleslaw's gross. No. That's what my son, he loves the hush puppies.
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a knockout one.
You can just get a water instead of a milkshake.
Oh,
that's crazy.
At cookout?
These little changes.
Do you get a bottled water?
No, you got to pay extra for that. I'm cheap. Get it right out of the spigot.
That's what I do. I get the milkshake as my drink, and then I come home and I drink. I'll have like Coke Zero with the meal, and then I'll have the milkshake because you can't drink those cookout milkshakes.
Oh yeah, you got to have a spoon
just
for
a cup
those.
of ice cream. I eat it.
I'll be honest. Actually, after Marcus, I saw you yesterday, and when I left, I actually went to Cookout and got a milkshake yesterday.
What kind?
Oreo mint.
Nice.
It's a very good one.
Nice. All right, boys. Love you guys. We'll do it again after the New Mexico State game. Not even sure when that kicks off. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to schedule that. All right.
4:15.
So, we won't be here at 3:00 in the morning. For Marcus and Brett and Davey, I'm Russell Smith, Walker Bear. Y'all get well soon. We'll be back Monday. A full slate of fan-run programming starts at 7 a.m. with Talk Sports, John and Cody. And we'll be back from 3 to 6 on The Drive right here on Fan Run Radio.